What's up, fools? We have a new panel show that we're going to be doing here. This is the first one that we're doing. Today is 1/16/2026. It is 8:45 p.m. Today we're going to talk about ICE, immigration, and the Renee Good shooting. We're going to start off by... Okay. Sorry, my screen's messing up. We're going to start off by introducing everybody. We got Lonerbox here on the left with Soypill. Both of them stream, I believe, on YouTube and Twitch. Is that correct?
I've moved away from Twitch, but for the most part, yeah.
Okay. And then we've got, is it Kung Fu Joe? Where do you stream, Kung Fu Joe?
I mostly stream on Twitch, but I'm currently suspended right at the moment. I'll be back in a week.
I'm gonna ask, but guys, put your guesses in the chat as to why this man is suspended.
Glad we got that out right at the beginning. And then we got Grid One Motorsports. For those of you who were here just a couple months ago, he was the one who hosted the debate that I did with Rob Noor in Tennessee. So that was a lot of fun. Appreciate you being here, Grid One Motorsports. You stream on YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, I actually stream on all platforms depending on the show that I'm doing.
So. Okay.
Kung Fu, can I ask why you're banned on Twitch?
Joe.
What's that?
Oh, why are you banned on Twitch?
Not banned. I'm suspended for a week.
For?
Naughty words, I guess.
All right. Well,
yeah.
We're for the first topic, on January 7th, Minneapolis resident named Renee Good was blocking the road with her car.
It was the N-word or the F-slur.
During protests when officers moved to detain her, and she was fatally shot as she attempted to flee. The discussion has been insanely partisan, and both sides seem to be really heated over this one. One side believes that this was murder. The other side believes this was fully justified. Grid One Motorsports. What was your thoughts on the confrontation?
I think it was the shooting was good, but there were some definitely some procedural sort of things that could have been handled a little better if I'm to armchair quarterback it. Of course, I wasn't there, so.
So what do you mean procedural issues? What do you think?
Well, I mean, well, first of all, I think I actually don't have that big a problem with him walking in front of the car because he was trying to get out of the way, and he didn't really have any reason to believe that she was going to skate off like she did. That part I don't really. That part's like the lesser of the evils. The biggest concern I had was that when his partner was confronting her, he was documenting everything, and I felt like he should have been kind of behind his partner, kind of in the position he ended up in, but I don't understand why he felt like he needed to document her license plate and all of that. Maybe that's a federal procedure, the way they do that. But that's really
guys,
the
I guarantee
only thing.
federal procedure is not whip out your personal phone and record. There's no way.
Understand why he took the time to walk around the vehicle and all of that.
Wonderbox, did you have an issue with him standing in front of the vehicle the way he did?
Yeah, it was a moving car. Whether it's reversing or not, I feel like when a car is on and it's moving, or whether it's reversing or not, I don't know. There's no good reason to stand in front of it, and it seemed like he was quite nonchalantly pacing, quite slowly in front of it, even as she started reversing for the 3-point turn. So yeah, I have no idea why you would put yourself in that situation. We can go over some case law, like in relation to it as well. But as far as I know, it's easy. Throwing yourself in front of a moving car like that is just like a very, very stupid thing to do. And typically, the argument it seems to be the cop is making is that he was in fear for his life and he had to defend himself from the car. Well, if you're standing in front of a car and you think it's like going to move towards you, 9mm is going to be a lot less reliable than stepping out of the way. So I don't know, dumb fuck. And obviously, if you think you watch the video and you see the like little whoa when he supposedly either lightly gets hit or bumps his phone or whatever else, and then he shoots her and says "fucking bitch" afterwards under his breath. It seems like I don't know. It seems like the car bumped him as she was getting away, and he just got angry, and that's why he shot. So, yeah, fucking quite mental.
Joe, did you think the shooting was justified?
Depends on what you mean by justified, because obviously we're going to be looking at it through two different lenses. We're going to look at it through a legal lens and a moral lens. I think
When would anyone
legally,
make the moral argument here? Like,
he's
what's the
probably going
point?
to walk. Morally, though,
Yeah, Jordan Peterson.
When you say
it
legally,
seems
he's
like
probably going to
It
walk.
depends on
Do
what
you
your
mean that
definition of dead
you think
is. I
it's
mean, is she
legally
really dead?
justified? Like, if he went
If we
to court,
if we
he's
refuse
not
to
gonna have
forget
any
her and
issues,
her
or are you
name,
saying
she
you don't
lives
think
on
they're
within
even gonna
all of us, and a
investigate it
murder
to
hasn't
where
been committed.
He would ever go to court
no,
in the
not
first place.
well. What I'm just saying is like me not being a very legally minded person. I mean, I could very well be wrong, but just kind of from looking at it alone, I would bet my money that he would probably walk away from this without any kind of charges
If you went to court.
if he went to court.
Okay. And do you think he's going to go to court? Do you think they're going to actually take him?
Like I said, I'm not very studious on like legal matters, especially. I don't know if it's going to fall within like a state jurisdiction or like federal. Like
Is
all
having
those are
your weights
details
in
that
your
I
stream
wouldn't be
background the
able to
equivalent of like the lawyers
really
with the
tell you.
books? Like, is it performative?
Do you think he's going to go to court, Soy Pill?
That's entirely depends on whether or not the state decides to prosecute. I think if this is left to the federal government, they will do absolutely nothing. In their opinion, they can lie and say anything that he did was completely justified. They say, "Oh, he got ran over," which clearly didn't happen. If left to the DHS or anyone else, ICE, to investigate this internally, nothing's going to happen to him. If the state decides to independently prosecute, I think they have maybe a case. I think the ridiculous thing is like, there's maybe a case here where it's like, oh, maybe he was justified, but this is not what the narrative that is coming out from the right is. The narrative from the right is everything was 100% justified. You can clearly see it on video. This video exonerates him. In fact, he should have shot her more times. She had it coming. Fuck around and find out. No one is approaching this on the right from any amount of nuance. It is just completely lies from the administration. That's why Trump and Kristi Noem lied about it. I think if you watch the video, it's pretty clear that this guy was not in danger. If he has internal bleeding, as they've said, which is yet to be verified, I bet it was like a little bump. You can see that he does not get knocked over. He does not get forcefully pushed in any way. It looks like he has his arm on the car and is kind of slid back on the ice. I don't think anything here justified shooting her in the head. And this is all to say, sanity check, a car can absolutely kill you. And I've seen many videos of cops justifiably shooting unarmed people in cars. This did not look like one of them. And I think that people are saying otherwise are just incredibly partisan.
Grid, do you disagree with that?
I mean, yeah, I'd agree with that. I disagree with parts of it. Yeah, for sure. It looks like the officer's in the hospital right now with internal bleeding. So I'm not really,
he's not in the hospital.
Really
Grid.
touched him. Kind of rhetoric falls flat, I guess. But so I mean, I guess.
Wait, Grid. He's not in the hospital.
And
can we acknowledge that he's not in the hospital right now?
the last report I saw, do you have one that's different? Because the last report I saw,
the last report was when he went to the hospital, they reported he had internal bleeding. He is not still in the hospital 9 days later.
Sure. I don't actually follow his every move, so sure. Okay.
Okay, well, this would be important information to know for this debate.
I don't. Honestly, it doesn't make a difference to my point.
It makes a huge difference. If he was still in the hospital, he would have had an actual severe injury.
That he had internal bleeding or no?
Just to be clear,
just for the overall conversation, it would be important to acknowledge that he's not currently in the hospital, because if he's still in the hospital over a week later, that would be a much more serious injury than it would have been if he just went to the hospital for an hour and left, right?
Yeah, can we just get a reminder as well that this was obviously, it was two anonymous officials who told this to CBS. We agree that like the wording there is, that's very broad. You know, a bruise is like internal bleeding, right?
Well,
did you know that?
I don't know, because I wasn't there and I don't have that information, and neither do you.
Well, first of all, you said that he was still in hospital with internal bleeding, as if to make it sound he wasn't just bumped. Do you think if he had suffered to any serious degree, like we wouldn't be hearing the details of it?
You literally even got hit. If he got hit at all,
right? We're basing that off of the video that we saw with our eyes.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he got
whatever. Why does the internal bleeding matter? Why does that part matter?
Why does it matter? Well, because
So
this is the
as I said, like, as
justification
far as how
used.
serious
Why does
the
it
injury
matter?
is.
Because that's the justification used by the administration to say this man was severely hurt. That's what they imply by saying he suffered internal bleeding, as in he was justified for taking this woman's life because this could have been much worse for him. That is the implication by saying he has internal bleeding. I think if that is even true, it's probably a bruise, and if it's a bruise, it's because he had his hand on the car and got pushed a little out of the way, and maybe his phone hit it because he's resting his phone on the car hood. Yeah, this is not like he got hit and spun out and his ribs are broken. The implication here is that he, like Trump and Kristi Noem said, he got run over, which didn't happen. This is a lie.
Do we agree
I
with
just
that?
don't
Do we
know
agree that?
why-
Hold on.
Do we all agree that what
We
Trump
use the
said was a
term
lie?
"run over" when cars barely touch people. We still say, yeah, he got run over.
No, we don't.
Run
Run over
No, no,
implies
wait.
you got
Trump
hit
didn't
by
Well,
a
just
maybe
car.
say
you don't, but colloquially, I know people that do. So, I mean, you can say whatever you feel like colloquially, and I can say, yes, we do use
Okay,
this type of language.
Grid, when you're in a parking lot and you back up and you accidentally ding a car, do you say, damn, I just ran over that car? Or do you say, oops, I bumped into that car?
It's a car. You can't.
I would say I hit the
You can't
car.
go over
Okay,
a car.
if
You
you
go
would
over one
literally
person.
say I hit the car.
if you
I
bumped
wouldn't say I
if you
bumped the
bumped
guy, I would say,
if
yeah, I
you
hit the car.
if you bumped your wife going 1 mile an hour, would you say, damn, I ran over my wife?
If I knocked her down.
No,
on.
I didn't
Yeah,
say
if I
that.
knocked her
You
down, I'd
bumped
say,
her.
yeah, I ran
I
over
said
my-
you
my
bumped her
wife.
going 1 mile an hour. She did not get knocked down. Would you say this is running over your wife?
I don't know.
Okay, the
Would
answer is
depend on how
no.
far she
Because
how far
obviously
flew
she wouldn't.
afterwards, right?
She didn't
I mean,
fly
I
at
mean,
all.
Right. Well, I don't know.
Let's say she was still. Let's say she was still
Hold on,
standing
wait.
afterwards.
I
Hold
don't
on,
know
so-
because
so
I've never
like-
hit my wife at 1 mile an hour.
Hold on one
so-
second.
Yeah,
so
you'd probably go
the car
faster.
touched him at some point. Yes.
Yes,
So
it looks like the car touched him. Now, whether or not this is because he leaned over onto the car or because the car, was still making the turn away from him, it's impossible for me to say. I mean, this is all just speculation based on what we see in the video. It does not look to me like this man was run over. 2, he was not knocked down, which a lot of people are saying, which is insane to me. Actually, Michael Knowles was claiming he was knocked down on Wednesday. And it's like he couldn't admit that this is just patently not true. But run over is just false by every use of that word. I don't know how you could possibly
I
say
just
run
don't-
over.
I don't see why this matters at all. Soy.
It
if
matters
he was-
because this is
Hold
what
on,
the
hold on.
admin
Hold
that
on,
is
I wanna-
defending him is claiming.
Wait. I just want
that's
to. I want to
not-
give. I'm
that's
gonna
not
hang
a-
on. I'm
you
gonna.
don't need
I'm
that
gonna
to-
give
you don't
one.
need
Hang
that
on.
defense.
Hey, I'm gonna give one.
Cops
olive
typically
branch
ask people to turn off their engines. A
Right,
car
we're gonna
moving
say-
is foreseeable without
so
malice.
if
Thank you,
someone's
Fox.
hit by a car, that can range from a slight bump to you just got rammed at 100 miles an hour and every bone in your body is broken. Okay, I understand that. However, do we agree that saying that she violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense, and that based on the clip, it's hard
Well,
to believe he's
we
alive?
don't know. So, okay.
Is that a lie or
I'm
no?
not going to assign any motivation to her because I don't know what her motivation was. All we know is that her wife said, "Drive, baby, drive." Now that sounds like encouragement to flee. Okay, that does not sound like, "Hey, calmly drive away and avoid hitting the officer with the vehicle." That seems like
Precisely.
something that seems like an aggravated response. You can disagree, that's fine. We do
And
know that
go
that the
ahead.
vehicle hit him. We know that. That's not in dispute. You can keep saying it brushed him. You can say it teased his hair, whatever the fuck you want to say. The vehicle hit him. He felt in danger, and in that moment, he was in fact, I don't know how you guys are I don't know what kind of mental cartwheels you're doing to say otherwise. He is absolutely justified to draw his weapon and end that threat. I'd honestly, it's insane to me that you're saying that you in that position that you would not do that same thing.
Well,
assuming
I
you
wouldn't
had
be
the
in that
training.
position because I
I
wouldn't
don't
step
know,
in
you
front of the
guys
car,
think
and I'm
that-
not
you
nice.
mentioned-
You
Wait,
mentioned
wait,
mental.
wait,
you mentioned
Loner,
mental
can you get them to
cartwheels.
answer your
Hang on,
question?
You mentioned.
Asking you.
you
Loner,
mentioned
they didn't
mental
answer your question.
cartwheels. What was my question? What did I ask you?
Yeah.
What did you ask me?
Yeah.
Well, I thought we'd already answered what I asked you, and I moved on.
No, you didn't
So what
answer.
did I ask you?
Again,
Can
I'll
you
answer
just-
it
can you
again.
just remind me? No, wait. Can you just remind me what I asked you? Have you forgotten what I asked you?
Yeah, I have. We moved on.
Oh, so you just rambled for 30
No, I
seconds to a
didn't
minute,
ramble.
having
I
no fucking
assumed that-
idea what I just asked you.
I assumed that
You
we
just
had
ignored my
Sorry,
question.
Tinfoil.
Am I
I'm not
right
going
now?
full aggro
Am I
yet.
a human
The
being?
car had hit
Sorry, what the
somebody.
fuck?
And thank you for joining.
I assumed that we had answered the
Okay,
question about
okay,
whether or not
okay,
the car
I'll
had
ask you
hit
again.
somebody.
Okay, I will ask you again.
Sure.
I'm asking you, if someone had said that what happened here was that she violently, willfully, and viciously ran him over, and that based on the clip, it's hard to believe he is alive. If someone said that, you think that would be an accurate characterization of what happened?
Repeat that again. 'Cause there's
That's what mental
some
cartwheels
language
look.
in there.
If
There's some
anyone wants to
language
know
in there I
what
want to
mental
parse out.
cartwheels look like, yeah.
No.
So if someone had
There's
said
language
that,
in there I want to parse
Wait,
out.
wait, yeah,
if
Loner.
someone
To
had
be
said
to be
that-
fair, Grid is really slow. I genuinely think he's processing this. You might have to repeat it.
If someone had said that she had willfully, violently, and viciously ran him over, and that based on the clip, it's hard to believe he is alive, would that be an accurate
Actually, I
characterization
agree
of
with
those
that.
clips or not?
I will agree with that. And this is why. And here's why. Because she violently stepped on the accelerator and accelerated towards him. He had excellent reflexes. He didn't draw the weapon until the vehicle almost hit him, and he shot. He had about 0.2-second splits between shots, which was awesome. That's amazing. I know you don't understand how good that is, but that's fucking great. And he hit. So all of those things, yeah. He's very fortunate to be alive. I will go to that hill. Yeah,
Based on the
absolutely.
clips, it's hard to believe he's alive. Yeah, okay.
It is. It's actually hard to believe.
Hey,
he
how many
could've
near-death
stood there and let her
experiences have
run
you just
his-
like literally
Had
You know,
walked
it's really
off?
funny,
he
like,
just stood there like you guys are suggesting, he'd have been run over
Wait,
completely.
I'm sorry. When did we say he should just stand there? We said he shouldn't have been
Well,
in front
I'm
of the
sorry,
car.
What's your
Well,
guys?
he seemed to
proposed
believe he should
response?
stand there because he
what
was
would have been
casually.
the perfect response for you guys?
Well,
I'm dying to hear you.
The ICE officers
Hold
seemed to
on.
believe that he could just nonchalantly pace in front of the car when it's moving. So he made that decision
He didn't
himself.
nonchalantly pace. He moved
he
to help.
was.
Well,
his
you
partner who was
literally said
attempting
he
to get the
nonchalantly
woman
paced
out
it
of the
He
earlier
went
in this
around
debate.
the car.
This is
around
how
the
you
fence line,
mischaracterize
pacing.
things all the
He
time.
stopped to
He
draw his gun. He
literally
could
was
have kept taking
moving
another step, and he stopped to draw
around
his
the
gun.
vehicle to reach his partner who was had made the determination to arrest the woman and was attempting to get her out of the vehicle. And that's what he was supposed to be doing. Again, you guys have a very strange way of interpreting the video, which is fine.
Grid, when you
A very
pull
strange
some,
way of
if you
saying this guy who
Grid,
goes,
Grid, if you
almost
pull
died.
someone,
Take
Okay.
into account
Grid.
here, guys. Like you guys are looking over a lot of factors that you're not taking into account. Like, have you guys, like, how many of you guys have walked on ice before?
Yeah, I live in
obviously,
Scotland.
I-
Anybody?
Yeah.
I live in
Has
Tennessee.
anybody?
yes,
Just
it
put your
is.
hand.
yes, we've walked on ice.
Okay,
Make
great.
your
So
point.
you've all walked on ice, okay? So how fast can you just like take off to one side or the other?
Wow, wait,
on
are you
ice?
saying wait?
Yeah,
if you're
I
telling me
walked,
that ice is more
downhill on ice
precarious
today.
and slippery, then maybe you shouldn't
Hold
be
on,
standing in
hold
front of a potentially moving vehicle if you're
Well,
worried
he
about
already
being able to
walked
grab
in
your
front of
like
it.
footing. Yeah, well, he shouldn't have been there, right?
Okay, so he shouldn't have been there, but that's what you're saying. Okay, well, he shouldn't have been there. So what you're telling me is that because he made that decision, he should have died for it, right? He should have
No,
not
because
tried
I don't
to
think he was in
take his
danger.
gun out and defend himself.
No, I don't think he
Well,
actually
the-
defended
wait,
himself. Is the
Kung
point?
Fu Joe,
How do you
hold
know
on,
that?
Kung Fu Joe,
How do I
Kung Fu
know?
Joe,
Because I
they
watched
didn't
the
say
video.
that he should have died for it, but that is kind of the implication from the other side, right? Is that if he makes a mistake and goes to the wrong place, that the implication would be that now she has to die for his mistake. Yes.
No, I'm saying, well, in a way, if you're going to be the one weaponizing the vehicle
Hold on,
first,
hold on.
then yeah.
He didn't make.
Well, so okay, so then
He
that
didn't
would
weaponize the
that is the
vehicle. He
question.
filmed
Is
her
that
turning the
that
other
is
way.
She weaponized the
Question-
vehicle
hold on,
before
wait,
he
no, hold on,
weaponized,
hold on, hold on,
started
hold on.
shooting.
Hold on, Joe. Okay, so yes, you do believe that she weaponized the vehicle as though she was like attempting to hit him. Yes.
From his account, from his
You're
view.
saying he had a reasonable
guy-
belief.
Listen,
that she
listen.
was
Let me explain. Okay, listen. Whatever he did, he waddled up in front of the car, right? And now, what
In front
he
of a moving car,
begins
to be
to
clear.
react. So it was moving backwards. First of all,
Hmm.
he didn't
Yes,
know
that's
it
a
was
moving
gonna
car.
be-
That's a
What are
moving
you
car,
talking
yeah.
about?
Okay, hold on,
That's a moving car.
hold on, Joe.
It's totally
hold on.
fine. It's
Wait,
unsafe,
hold on.
It,
Hold on, Joe. My question was, you're saying that he had like a reasonable fear that she was trying to hit him with the car. Yes, that's what you're saying.
yes, and I'm explaining why. Because he already put himself in front of the car while it was going backwards. He doesn't know she's going to accelerate forward with him in front of it. He's standing on ice. He can't just dodge like you can on normal, like dry ground, right? And she hears the girlfriend getting in the passenger seat yelling, "Drive, baby, drive." That's what he's reacting to. He knows he probably can't get out of the way in time. Here comes the car. It grazed him. He can't. When you're this close, you can't see where the wheels are pointing. So I think
filmed
like
it.
What? Yeah.
in
What about
much
when you're
time-
filming
He
it and
filmed her
we can
turning the
have
wheel.
we can have his direct point of view where we see her turning the wheel and we know exactly which
And
way
looking
they're,
right
they're
at
pointing.
him,
Yeah.
like she's
can't
aiming
see
the
the
car at him.
Yes,
his
in the
camera.
clip, he's
that's
looking
his,
right
that's
at
what
her.
his
Yeah.
camera's aiming at. That's not his eyeballs looking at her.
Okay. Where do you
That's his
think? Where do
camera
you
from his
think
you think he's
he
looking
was
at?
looking at? Do you think he
I'm
was
I
like?
think he's looking right at her.
Yes.
I think he's looking
Where's
right
where's
at
the
her, not
wheel?
at
It's in
fucking
Where?
front of
Yeah.
her
The
face.
wheel is in front of her.
And he doesn't
wheel-
know how
So-
far the wheel is
So
turned
if
one
you're
way or the
if you're
other.
if you're backing up and you see someone and you think they're gonna hit you, would you not expect them to turn the wheel to hit you?
No, he's already in front of the car.
Well, at this point, he's already moving away
I
from the
don't- I mean,
car,
this
right?
is a-
Because,
this
like,
is
I
a
think the
silly
first shot
thing
goes
to-
off while he's already to the side. No.
He's so close that when she takes off, she grazes him. How the fuck? That's close enough, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna be the one like in that position.
Well, I know you're
but if
stupid
you
enough to have
think
shot her in this
she's
scenario, but like a
crazy-
reasonable person
No,
might
no,
not, right?
Stupid. No,
Dude,
dude,
I-
you're just
I don't
like,
think that's
like
possible.
you don't get it. You just don't understand what it's like to be in these type of situations.
Well,
'Cause
first of all, do
probably
you?
super
Are you
sure
are you a
walking
law
front of
enforcement
cars that
officer?
are
I've
moving.
been in like some death situations before, dude. I know
How do
what
you
it's
know?
like. Okay?
Do
I
you?
don't know if your sheltered ass has. Yeah, I do.
You mean
So
if you're talking
anyway,
about sheltered though,
if it-
do you acknowledge that? And again, I've had an ex-cop tell me this as well. You acknowledge that in order to draw his gun when he's in front of the car, you have to like you can't. He wasn't doing that while he was pacing. He stopped pacing to draw his gun, right?
No, he didn't.
and
Yes. Yes.
No, he did not.
He took one step that could have continued.
Literally,
And
as
True.
the car is coming,
This guy needs to
towards
look up
him,
the
he
term
realizes
officer
that,
created
hey,
danger.
This,
Thank you very
this
much,
chick's gonna
FG.
hit me, and draws his gun.
Okay, I'm gonna
He did
just
a-
play
he
it
did
to my
an
chat so they can
exceptional
see
job
how
of that, by the
delusional
way.
you're being. But I'm just gonna watch the clip, and you can see he like angles himself, and he pauses for 1 second to draw his gun, and then she starts to move forward, and then he jumps out of the way.
I've watched the clip a lot,
do
and
believe
it's,
his
gun is
you
not going
can't
to-
tell. You can't tell.
If you want
hold on,
to,
wait,
you can't
protect
tell-
yourself
Wait,
from
wait,
a
wait,
move
hold
from
on,
a car
hold on,
that's
hold
about
on.
to turn
Yeah,
in front of
I
you,
believe
just
that-
jump out of the way.
you're-
Why shoot
You're
them?
saying that his hips shift, right? You're saying his hips are like facing one direction, and then as the car starts moving, he turns his hips and faces it. Lonerbox.
For like a split second, yeah, for a second.
Okay, so do you disagree with that, Grid? That he
As then he had to slow
switches
down
the
his
position
pacing
of his
to draw the
hips
gun.
into the car?
No. This is manufactured. He didn't even start shooting until the car is basically hitting him. Like it's like when you
Until
watch
after,
it,
to be
and
clear,
I've
until
watched
after
it
the
bump and he's
slow
out of the
down.
way, right?
I've
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
them both angles. I've done all of that, and his draw is really good. Like. I mean, I understand why. We've done a little bit
Thank you,
more
Moldy Man,
research
for
on
the
who
5
he is and
Canadians.
what
I
he's
think she
done
might have
and all
died of
that.
an overdose.
Because
This is plausible.
Normal officers normal officers would have just taken the broken leg or whatever and maybe.
Wait, Grid, are you
Yeah.
implying that had he not shot, he would have had a broken leg?
Yeah, how did the gun stop?
I
that?
honestly think at best, at the very best outcome, he'd have had a broken leg.
Okay, so can you
Because-
show me? Can you
how did
watch
the
the video
gun
and
stop
explain how the first shot, when he's not even in front of the car at this point, would it have prevented his broken
What do you mean
leg?
he's not in front of the car? He literally is hit by the car. And
The
is
first shot
falling
happens when he is not in
while
front
the-
of the
that-
car.
Okay.
I mean, I
I
understand you maybe didn't watch the same video. You also thought he was in the hospital still. Like maybe you don't have your facts straight, but like he's not in front of the car when he fires the first shot. This is just like demonstrably true. You can watch this part. That part's not in question.
Well, okay, in front of the car is like when you say in front of the car, like it seems as though he's leaning over the car. Part of his body is in front of the car, but both of his feet
In the
feet
first
Or
shot
to the
was
side of the
behind
car, yeah.
bumper. Yes, they're to the side of the front bumper, and so I think
Mhm.
he's saying like he's leaning in front of the car, but
Right.
he's,
So that
but
shooting or
his
not
feet
shooting
are on the side of the
changes
car.
not whether or not his legs break.
What?
Yeah, the bullet stopped. The bullet took off the top of the car that would have.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, I don't see how this
We're
could
not gonna
possibly could have
agree on
avoided.
this because these guys think the cops
you're
should have
lying,
gotten
aren't you?
hurt and the woman should have driven off and everything should have been fine.
Well,
That's
to be
what
clear,
these guys
he
believe.
was hurt, Grid.
They're
He's
perfectly
horribly
willing
internally
to
bleeding. It's been 8
sacrifice
days in the
officer
hospital. So.
Safety and welfare in the name of idiots being idiots doing idiot shit. That's what they're fine with it.
So I'm watching the clip right now. He he pivots, he starts pacing, then he pivots right in front of the car to take his gun out, and then she moves forward, and then he jumps out of the way. Now, I guess a very simple question is: he supposedly identified the threat when he decides to take his gun out. That's the mental process. But I'm just wondering, you have to be a bit slower to draw your gun, right? You can't jump out of the way and draw your gun at the same time, right?
Absolutely.
Yes or
I
no?
can.
Okay, no, absolutely you can. Like with diving out of the way of a car, jumping out of the way of a car, you can draw your gun.
Yeah.
quickly.
I mean, what do you what? I mean, I can't demonstrate now because, you know, we take down all of our streams. But I'm a competitive shooter. I have a fairly decent draw myself.
Okay, I see why you like this guy. So I've got.
I'm originally when I heard about it, I was like, okay, it's just another idiot. But when you hear when you
Guys are pulling up
listen
the video.
to
Give me a sec.
the splits and you hear how fast, the time difference between when he realizes that, hey, I'm going to get hit with a car, and when he draws the gun and fires aimed shots, it's impressive, like very impressive. It wouldn't have been impressive if he'd already had his gun drawn, which maybe he should have, because now his partner's trying to arrest this person. He probably should have had his gun out already, but he didn't. He was taking this as, hey, this is just
that's about where shot one happens. He's both feet are not even in front of it. Somehow the shot, that shot right there, that would have broken his legs if he hadn't taken it. Just FYI.
And he made the decision to go from, we're just going to detain this person to.
Thank you, Bradley, for the 5, dog. I don't know if I'll need a drink or a lobotomy. I'll need a drink or a lobotomy after this. I hope this helps. Thanks, man. This does help.
So anyone who's actually being honest with you, even if you just use your brain, would know that, and again, I've had ex-cops tell me this as well, that if you have two situations where you have to move out of the way of something, you are going to have an easier time moving out of the way when you don't have to draw your gun at the same time. I'm looking at the clip right now. This guy slowed down. He came to a stop to draw his gun and then faced her and then jumped out of the way when she started moving. He had two choices. He's like, this car might be a threat. Either I can protect myself with a gun, or I move, or just keep moving out of the way. He chose to use the gun, which is probably why he's got that traumatic internal bleeding.
You're either going to choose one or the other.
Which do you think is more likely to protect you from a car moving towards you, jumping out of the way or shooting it?
You don't have that kind of time to react and think about it. You don't have.
I don't have time to react and think about whether or not drawing a gun and shooting is going to save me from the car better than getting out of the way. Are you retarded?
Because the car is still able to move. People back over people. People do weird things. Yes, once you're a threat until the threat is gone.
Yeah, well, and to be clear, when he shot her
on this icy, if he had got to the side of the car and not drawn his gun, there's a risk that she might have gone forward and then really quickly reversed back into him, or what?
Look, it's that simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's on ice. He's on ice.
Jesus,
absolutely could have.
Yeah, well, at that point, he would have had an extra 3 to 4 seconds to actually draw his gun and get in a good position.
Well, actually, if that had happened, his partner would have drawn their gun and shot her, but that's beside the point.
Right, but to be clear, are we all in agreement? But to be clear, are we?
That there have been cases where multiple cops have fired on a moving car and been done for it and not been given qualified immunity, but in this case, only one guy seemed to think it was even worth drawing his gun. Yeah, fuck.
And also, he didn't
seem to think it was worth it. He was the one in danger. He's the one that made the decision under stress.
So the other cops didn't see the other guy in danger? Didn't see that he was in danger?
Maybe not in time to react.
Okay.
And also,
think everybody reacts at the same speed?
Give me
a sec. Read the super chat. I can't get a word in here. Thank you, Got the Waits. Asked why the ICE agents blocked medical care for Renee after she was shot. A physician was a bystander. I'm not going to ask this because I think this is actually semi-reasonable.
Like 1.01 second after?
Like, think about this, Got the Waits. Think about if you're on a crime scene and some random bystander says, "Let me inspect the body. I'm a doctor." And you have no way to verify this. It's kind of reasonable to not let them in. Sorry. Thank you, Tinfoil Freak. These people are inhuman. Yes. Well, just stupid.
Or he'd already been bumped and then thought, oh god, I might die. This car might continue to break my leg as it's gone past me.
Grid, I have seen a bunch of ex-ICE officers or DHS officers and lots of people on online in articles saying that this is almost everything that he did was against protocol and what DHS policy is. Have you?
Whoa.
But I'm sure that
He's goes renaming Live and Learn
in regard to traffic stops, because they don't do traffic stops, right?
This is sad even for me.
My biggest complaint with this guy is that
this wouldn't be a traffic stop. the idea
It's
would be
treated
that
as a
he was
traffic stop, though.
Also,
no,
to be
not
clear,
really.
tinfoil
It's
freak,
they,
Grid
their
is
claim
really
that she was
fucking stupid.
obstructing, right? So it's
Why
it's
asking
not
about
really
traitors? They're
a
traitors.
traffic
Thank you, I am
But
out
the
the
things
box.
the cops are talking about are things that people that do traffic stops know about, like not walking in front of Counterpoints was saying this the other day because he was a cop, he was a beat cop, he was a cop that drove around in a car all day. So they know, hey, don't walk in front of the car, don't walk behind the car.
Roach
because
Darrington,
idiots are
$5
idiots and they'll try and run
Australian.
you over.
Trolley problem.
And
You're on the
he
tracks and
made
the
that
trolley's
point.
coming
I
at you.
agree
Do you
with
stay there to shoot
And I
the
told him.
driver or move off the
Feds aren't traffic cops. They have very narrow. They have a very focused point of training to some degree, and he may have done vehicle operations at some point. I'm sure he did, but he doesn't do it all the time. So he's not thinking that the soccer mom's going to throw the car in reverse or forward and try and run him over. That's not. He's thinking, hey, I need to back my partner up who's about to open this door and pull this woman out and arrest her. That's what he's thinking.
Grid, do you acknowledge that by taking these...
the frame of mind? Well, hold on. I can understand the frame of mind that you're giving me, and I can agree with that to an extent. But wouldn't that just further explain that, like,
I'm not going to ask that, Pill.
It's just
a pixel. It's just I'll just be trolling at that point.
If like protocol,
which,
and
to be
what
fair,
it
I'll
is that
probably
they're trying
devolve
to
into
do
at
doesn't
some
I
point.
think he was
respond to
sloppy,
me.
but that doesn't give her the right to try and run his ass over.
Wait, Grid, you
Sure, I
literally
don't
said
know
that this was
what-
like
real
impeccable
quick, hold on.
draw, his great
Wait,
work,
so wait,
like, and
hold
now
on,
you're
wait,
saying
wait,
he's
wait.
his gun work
incompetent?
was
Hold on,
awesome.
wait.
sloppy with his
I
traffic
don't
work.
I don't think anybody here thinks that she was right in trying to flee, or that she.
Well, apparently
ought to
they
be
do
flying
because
over.
they're justifying the shit out of it.
When did I say
They-
that?
So I
Oh, we
feel.
didn't. Oh, you just made that up. Okay.
Do I think
that's
it's
it.
right to try to
No,
flee?
you've
There's
literally.
mental
What do you mean
purpose
right?
again.
Like,
saying that
legally,
this
I don't
cop
think you're
didn't have
allowed
shoot
to.
her, and you were just okay with her driving off.
Do you think
after
if I
having-
say you
okay,
don't have to
after
shoot
having
someone for
used a
something, that
vehicle
means
as
the
a
thing is
deadly
okay?
weapon
Is shoplifting okay if I think you shouldn't have to shoot people for it? What the fuck are you talking about? That's
But
not
this
the same
isn't
thing.
shoplifting. This is
You're
literally driving a
conflating.
deadly weapon at somebody.
Yes,
Is that
wait,
okay?
Grid, that is
I
what we're
think
trying to get
I
at,
think in
is
worst
that,
case
like,
scenario,
the
you could
difference-
prosecute this person for like evading arrest at some point. Like, and I would probably say that's
No,
justified.
you would literally. I would prosecute that if she got in the way. I would have prosecuted her for literally assault
Attempted
with a deadly
murder?
weapon with intent.
You'd
Wait,
say with
why?
intent.
How-
You-
wait,
you
do you
see-
think
hold
she
on,
intended to
obviously
kill
she
him?
was
Hold
gonna
on,
run
hold
that
on,
right.
hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay, so I feel like maybe I misunderstood. So Grid, I thought at the beginning we were asking about.
Thank you,
like,
Darkade.
her intent
I'm
and
not
what it
making a
was
soy
that
pill
you felt
caca.
she
No
was
one
trying
would
to
buy it
do, and I
except
thought
for
you
you.
were
But
saying
thank
that you
you.
didn't have,
Broken
like, a
leg
take on
best
what
case
her
if he
intent
didn't
was.
shoot.
But
Wouldn't
now you
shooting
are
her
saying
make
you
the
would
car
charge
go in
her
the same
with
Simply
direction and hit him?
responding-
Yes, obviously. Thank you,
giving them the
Speedster.
opposing view because if they're going to say that she should just be, just hand waved away for trying to run over this cop, I'm going to say no. I don't believe that. I
You're
think that
you're
if
creating
you
a
are-
dichotomy
you are
grid
in a-
between either you
you're
let her go and do
absolutely in
nothing
a-
and
in a
kill her, and we're
position-
saying you
you're
shouldn't have killed her.
absolutely in the position of saying that a person, first of all, the minute you accelerate a car towards someone, they don't have to be directly in front of you. They don't have to be like, if you accelerate a vehicle towards someone, especially a law enforcement officer, that vehicle becomes a deadly weapon.
You also don't have to be turning the vehicle in the opposite direction that the person's moving. Apparently, yeah. Even though we can literally
We
see the
don't
clip
know
of her
that.
turning
You keep
the wheel
claiming
to the
that.
right.
We
we
don't
can
know
because we
that.
saw that on the
No,
on the
we
video.
do know that. There is a clip of her
We don't
from his
know
own
that.
phone. She turned her wheel to the right as he was moving left. This is the fucking MAGA thing. You guys are pretending to not know your left from your right
It's
to
not.
make
First
this
of all,
make
I'm not
sense.
MAGA. Second, I don't
Oh, yeah,
know
that's
what she
true.
was
Why are
trying to
people
do.
never MAGA? It's so weird.
Yeah, I'm not MAGA.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did, but that
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
make
all
it
that matters,
MAGA.
buddy.
Is that all that matters? Okay.
Yeah. If you
Did you
support
vote
if you
for,
support him
did you vote
materially,
for,
you're MAGA. Like just because you're
Did you
not.
vote for Kamala?
Well, Grid, that's
did
why
vote for Kamala,
earlier.
yeah.
So when you said
Okay.
Assault,
We're Brad Summers.
with a deadly weapon with intent, I'm asking you.
Thank you,
about,
Jack
like, if
Duffy.
you're saying that you would charge her with the intent as well.
Yeah, the minute
you would have to believe that she did show that she
hammered the
was intending
accelerator
to do
goes to intent.
Wait, so
She
you
could've-
clearly
she
at the
could've
beginning of
stopped.
this
She
said
knew
we
he
can't
was-
know what's in
she
her
could
mind, and now you're
clearly see
saying
he was in front of
100%
her.
it's intent provable.
She could clearly see the officer was in front of her and she stepped on the accelerator. And this has been upheld in the Supreme Court, U.S. versus Wallace, that is intent and that is vehicular assault.
Why do you leave out the fact that she was turning the wheel in the opposite direction?
It
that he
doesn't
was
matter. It does not matter. That does not matter. You guys keep pointing
It doesn't
to that
matter
like
if
it
you can
matters.
show that there's
The wheels
intent
can
to
be
not hit
turned
the
just
person.
as
Do you think she
easily
was-
the other way. None
Do you
of
think
that
she was
matters.
attempting to get like a spin ball on him, like in fucking Pool?
Well, I'm okay. So
Again,
when we're
if you
talking
accelerate
about,
a vehicle towards someone, regardless which ways your wheels are turned,
No matter what.
gonna
Okay,
get
so
hit
what
the
if I
vehicle.
tap the accelerator? I start going 1 mile an hour and he's 100 feet away. Would you say that this is intent to commit vehicular manslaughter?
If you're 1 mile an hour,
Yeah, 1 mile an hour.
it depends on the range, but probably not.
Okay, so are you saying that there maybe are circumstances that might change the way that a court interprets whether or not she intended to hit him?
That has nothing to do with what you're going to be charged with.
It has everything to do with it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be charged with intent.
Okay, soy pill. So
Are you aware of the difference between intent and non-intent? Like the difference between like manslaughter and murder? Like intent matters. Like this is a very significant thing in charging someone.
when you are charged, they suss that out. If you accelerate towards a person,
Right.
and you intend to do it.
Okay,
Wanna
so
charge
again,
them?
we
Well,
just
okay, even if they
agreed
don't.
that if she
Let's
had
just-
gone
let's just-
a mile an
right,
hour at a
fine,
guy 10
fine.
feet
You know what?
away,
I'll
this would
go-
not be
I'll go
intent,
with you,
correct?
Soy Pill. I'll go with you. But it's still going to be vehicular assault.
Okay, so at least we're at the part
would
where
draw
we
that
can't
line quite
100%
quickly.
definitively
That's
say
all
that she
almost
did
what
have
you're doing,
intent,
just total
because
fucking
of course we
bullshit,
can't. But yeah, theoretically, this could be some sort of involuntary thing. But I'm glad we moved on from the intent.
Involuntary?
Yeah, as in she didn't try to
What's
kill
that?
this person?
No.
that's what I'm trying to understand.
Did she
as well,
step on
Greg.
the
If we're
accelerator
talking
pedal
about
or not?
intent,
Did
if we're
she
talking about
ease
intent,
away, or
we're saying that
did she hammer it
well,
enough
hold on,
that
wait,
the tires spun?
but it does like with intent. It's not just saying that like you're doing something, and something could possibly
you
happen
guys hear
as
Tom?
a
I can't hear him.
consequence, accidentally. But that because that would be like
Oh, what's up, Aaron?
negligent or something like that. But
How's it
you're
going?
talking about with intent.
Aaron
So
was
you're
talking about
saying,
this
like,
on
her
Tim Pool. You guys
goal
should watch
she
it.
hammered
to
the
hit him.
accelerator. She didn't ease out at 1
Just
mile
to be
an
clear,
hour. She
I'm
spun
asking.
the tires. If the tires hadn't spun, the cop
Okay, this is
would
weird.
have
I can't
probably
hear them,
been
but you
there.
guys can.
Hold on, wait,
because
wait,
she'd
I'm
have
asking
been
a
in the
different
back.
question. This is the part that I think they're getting confused on. Is that where
All right, I'm back.
you're saying with intent, the idea is that she is hoping to hit him. She intends to hit him. The goal of pressing on the accelerator is to hit him. Is that what you're saying?
Thank you for joining, Penny Peddler.
You know, I don't know.
think
because
that name is
I don't know if she
anti-Semitic.
even knew he was in front.
None of these people can possibly be
So,
real. Even my great
Okay.
friends at
and
ICE
I
looks
said,
bad.
hey,
Yeah,
we
these people
take
are
the intent off. It's still
the
vehicular
most like
assault.
dick
It's
suck
still-
Trump.
She's looking
like,
at him.
tape
in
ticklers, as
she's
Kyle
looking
would
She's
say.
in his
literally
direction
looking at him.
in-
But that
in
doesn't.
the video. so-
Again, the argument can be made that she didn't even see him. She was just trying to flee.
Okay, wait.
That's-
If that
and you guys
can
can
be
take that
made,
argument.
Grid, then it clearly
argument
isn't
can be made.
100%. It is intent. Do you understand that? That like this is already you're introducing doubt into the scenario.
Well,
I
he
can
did
make
just
a lot of arguments.
granting that,
Right. This is how
Right.
analysis of potential crime works, especially in court. And so, like, the fact that you're coming out and saying this is clearly 100% with intent, and had he not
Well,
shot,
I said
she
that
would have been
could
charged.
I said she would be charged that way. I believe that she would. You said something like basically, oh, she's just hand wave, no big deal. She just drove away. I'm saying no. She would get charged if she had done what she did and she'd hit him like she did. It wouldn't be hand waved away.
So, Bill, you agree that she did hit him? Yes.
It depends what you mean by
That he was
hit.
hit.
I agree that a car made contact with him, but it is unclear to me whether this is she swiped him or he is like pushing off the car because he's laying his hand on it, and that's why you can see his feet move back. That could be because she like bumped into him and he moved back. That also could be because he has his hand on the car, and as it's accelerating, it pushes him off.
Okay, he has one hand with his phone on it and the other hand
Yes.
with a gun.
Right.
Which
So
hand
in,
did he use?
in classical Newtonian physics, when you are connected with something and it moves, you will also move. Now, whether this is because it hit you or because you're already connected is
But you just said that he put his hand on it, but yet
Yeah.
both hands were full.
yes.
And I don't see the camera hit
He's
the
asking
hood.
which hand did he
Wait,
put on there.
You don't
one
see the
with
camera
gun
hit the
or
hood.
one
Have you
with
seen the video? Like,
I see
Yeah,
the
the
camera.
camera,
I
like-
see him
do you see,
bounce
do you
off
see
of
how
the
I'm
hood,
pushing
but I don't
against my
see
mic
him
right now,
lay
but I
the-
have a phone
I
in
don't
my hand?
see him like here. I'm putting my camera. Here, I got my phone right here.
Yeah.
I didn't see him do this. I saw him like bounce off of the hood.
You know
Maybe
you
you're-
can't
maybe you're
see.
just-
You know you can't see the camera in the footage that is recorded with his camera, right?
Yes, I see it. I don't see him lay it down there. I see him bounce off of the hood. Right? Is that what you see?
No.
Okay. What do you see?
Do you want to watch the
Fascinating.
video again?
No, I seriously want you to describe what you saw.
So when you say bounce off the hood, do you mean like the car hits him and he goes, whoa? Or do you mean like potentially when he puts his
You
hand
said
down,
he put
there's a
his
forward
hand on the
transfer
hood,
of the
like
momentum?
He rested it on the hood
I'm not-
to like push himself off or something. That's
No.
what you said.
I'm
Now
not
I
saying
want you
I'm
to
not
back
saying
that
that he
shit
is.
up,
I'm not saying that
because
he.
what I see
I'm
is
not
I see
saying
him get hit by
if I
a
back it
fucking
up, will you
car
shoot me in
and
the
then
head?
bounce off of the hood.
I'm not saying that she calmly rested his hand down, and then as the car was accelerating, like a baby, he was gently pushed away. Okay, I'm saying that when he puts his hand down,
This is
right,
literally the
as he's
dumbest
moving
thing I've
out of
ever
his
heard.
way, as he's trying to move out of the way, the momentum of that car is transferred. Now, whether or not you want to call that hitting or if he is pushing off the car, either one, I don't know for sure. You can't tell from the video. That is what I'm saying. Thank you, Triceratops, for the $2.
I don't
That's
know why.
that's
keeps
amazing.
popping
Okay,
out.
all right, whatever.
But like, you,
But
you
okay,
seem to be
Can
of
you
the-
acknowledge
seem to be
like
of the
that it is
position-
possible that both of those things happened?
I saw the phone bounce off of the car. It didn't rest there. He didn't push off of it. He bounced off. He goes oof, I believe, when that happens.
Hmm.
It wasn't like he didn't
I
rest
say
his
oof when I
hand on the
stand
hood
up,
and
just to be
gently
clear.
push
Old people
off
do
like a
this all the
baby.
time, so this
That
is not
didn't
proof
happen.
that he got hit. Okay.
So,
It was more like a whoa, like the Elon Musk noise. But
What? No,
it
I'm
seems
sorry,
like your
what?
position is that it doesn't really matter what her intent was. She could have like it seems like you like, if you know your left from your right, she was obviously steering in the direction away from where he was moving. But in any case, it seems like to you that doesn't really matter because what matters is obviously whether or not he's in danger, right? It doesn't matter what her intent is from his perspective, correct?
Thank you, Crimson, for
'Cause
the
if that's the
500 yen. Lock in, bro.
I'm
Don't let
just
these
wondering,
shits
like-
distract you from the point that you're asking or making. Thanks for everything you do. Doing my
Wouldn't
best. Thank
the January 6th cops have been justified in firing on like quite a lot of people on that day then? If you've got people coming towards them with like flags and poles and shields and shit, and some of these cops are like literally on their own with a mob of like 100 people coming towards them. That guy doesn't know that they're not just going to like jump 5 feet forward and kill them, right? Why doesn't he just shoot them on those grounds?
well, I mean, protest. I mean, the same could be said for any protest.
Well, that's why I'm asking. You seem to think this shooting is fine conduct because, you know, she
Well,
might have
She
killed him or broken
literally
his leg.
accelerated a car. It's a little ballsier than carrying around a stick, saying
After
with
you've
the
broken into a
sign on
building
it.
that you're not supposed to be in with weapons and after you've already fought with cops with deadly weapons?
I don't know.
Bats are
The
deadly
This
video
is why I
I've seen
donate
is-
counteracting is
or let's
important.
u-
Thank you, I
let's
am
use
Mr.
your
Fox.
guys' term, mostly
$5. Thank you
peaceful
from
there. I
Death
mean,
Awaits. I just
don't
rewatched the
wanna sit here
POV.
and
Renee's wife was
relitigate,
outside the vehicle when the ICE
Jan
agent was in
6
front, meaning he
Yeah,
was
I'm
not
not
at
gonna
risk.
obviously tell
If
you
we
that
need
people
to,
who
Um,
got
well,
outside
I don't know
and
if that
got
means he
a
wasn't
couple
at
guys
risk.
there
Sorry
that
to
can
keep.
speak to it, but
Do you
I
deny that there were
wasn't
people there
there.
with
I'm sorry. I keep pushing back on you, but like I don't know if that means he knew she wouldn't accelerate just because the wife wasn't in the car. To be fair,
None of
You-
us
you-
were at the
you
Renee
acknowledge they
Good
had
shooting
weapons,
either.
right?
We're
They
still
had
here to
weapons that
talk
can
about
kill
it.
you.
Tom,
And they
are we
use those
allowed to
weapons
have
on
the video
cops.
up on stream or no?
I'm trying to, if you can send me one that you think is fine.
Yeah,
every
this
single
one at
that
1
I'm
minute and
pulling up
57
is
seconds. I'm sending
highly
it to you
edited.
right now. This is not
Also,
highly
the-
edited. This is like
There's a
the
lot more
original
cops who got
video.
injured
There's a
on
lot
that
of
event, right?
synced stuff, but like this one, I like. If you can look at this and tell me it is impossible that. By the way, I'm not claiming this is 100% definitively what happened. I'm saying it is very possible that this guy did not get hit and he had his hand on the car when it was accelerating, therefore is sliding him backwards. I'm not saying that's definitely what happened. It's very possibly that it was a swipe and not like he got pushed away from it. I'm saying it is unclear to me based on all the videos I've seen, but is definitely clear to me that this is not something that I would fear for my life in this scenario for. But I also do, apparently this guy, it happened to him before and he might have had PTSD, which means he should not have fucking been there in any scenario that would ever involve a car. But yeah, can you show that, Tom? 157 is where I was at.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up real quick. Oh, here it is. Okay. I did want to make sure. So Wonderbox and Soypill, you guys don't think she should have fled? This was a contention that they had. Just
It's like we're judging someone who in the heat of the moment has a bunch of people approaching her car and her getting mixed signals from two different ICE officers and her wife. Yeah, I think it's illegal for her to flee maybe here. I don't know exactly how the jurisdiction works, but I would not blame them, and I don't think it deserves capital punishment. Like at worst it deserves like, hey, you resisted arrest, and then she should be punished.
Sure,
to the
but
extent of
like
the law.
we're saying, like let's say she isn't shot, you see a video where she just drives off and nobody shoots her,
Mhm.
you wouldn't be like protesting her getting
I might
charged
be,
with
depending on what they're
poisoning
trying to
an
charge her
officer.
with, but I wouldn't say it's like completely unjustifiable if they tried to slap her with some like minor thing here. Yeah.
Let's just say like evading arrest.
Yes, I think that there's a very real case for that to be justifiable.
And Wonderbox,
Yeah. Like just because I don't think people should get shot for shoplifting, that doesn't mean that it's okay to shoplift. Yeah, it's stupid.
okay. All right, so here's the video. I've got it up. This is where he starts walking around.
When she was shot and killed.
They are Renee Nicole Good's final words,
You can see the deathly intent in her eyes right here.
captured on this cell phone video, recorded by ICE agent Jonathan Ross, who fatally shot her Wednesday morning in Minneapolis. The footage begins with Agent Ross approaching Good, who is sitting in her SUV. You can hear Good say to him, "She's not mad."
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. It's okay. We don't change our plates every morning.
Good's wife, standing outside the car, is also filming.
Also, to be clear, he's already circled the car once, so he doesn't need to go around a second time
Walks
here.
around the front of the SUV, while another agent can be heard telling Good to get out of the car. Good's wife tries to open the door as Good reverses and begins to drive away. The camera goes down as Ross, who is still standing, yells out, then fires 3 shots. Seconds later, a voice is heard cursing Good, who crashes her car down the road.
Jesus.
Okay, so there is another angle where it shows like him actually being hit from over in this direction. But this isn't.
Yeah, you could bring that one up too, but I don't see how you could
Yeah, I was
one
looking for that one.
see him circle the car once, so he doesn't need any additional footage at this point, but circles again because he's incompetent and decides to step in front of this car. 2, very clearly, as this car backs up, is already to the left, or from her perspective, to the left of the car, and she is turning the wheel continuously. So if she even closely wanted to intend to hit this person, would have stopped turning the wheel at that point. This is very clear from his video. But on top of this, then determined from that you need to shoot her 3 times, and this is eliminating the threat, when right afterwards we then see the car barrel down the as a now a big weighted projectile and hit some other car. It could have hurt someone. Like, none of this in my mind justifies shooting her 3 times. This is insane to me.
Interesting.
Would you like to address any of those 3 points, or
No, I already have. I don't feel like I.
you
need to tread
we
the
actually
same
haven't
road
mentioned that he
over.
circled the car twice. Do you think there was a reason for him to walk around it 2
I
times?
did mention that. I even said that the only reason he came back around was to help his partner. I covered all of this.
Why didn't he just go around the back?
Because why would he? Also,
So then he's not
if he
standing in
had,
front of
she
the car.
reversed up. She probably would have hit him then.
Why do you think she reversed?
I have no idea why she reversed.
Seriously?
No, he
Do you
wasn't.
think, do you think
standing
she just like was in reverse and she's like, oh, I don't know what to do, and she reversed for no reason, or maybe so
in
that she didn't hit the
video,
guy
where
right in
is
front of
he
her?
exactly when she reverses?
In front of the car?
So she just threw it in reverse, and what he thinks that she's just gonna like mosey on.
Well, or turn to the right to drive to the right, as he saw her doing in the video we just watched.
Well, he didn't see her do that, obviously, because he would not have gotten hit by the car.
He didn't see the thing that we just watched him record on the video.
Obviously, okay. Then explain to me how he got hit by a car.
Well, to be clear, I haven't even conceded that he got hit. I said it's possible, and if he did, it was very mild from the
I
side
literally
swipe.
watched him get hit in the video.
No, we actually didn't watch that.
Okay,
but okay.
I do
We
have
didn't watch
the
him get
other.
hit. We watched him go. Whoa.
All right, I have the
You hear the
other
big
angle
thump thump?
here.
Yeah.
This is the one that shows from the side. This is him here.
I mean,
So
if I put the worst lens on it, he honestly didn't need to back up to get around him. She could have just turned her wheels really hard and eased forward, been no problem.
So she even
If I
gave
put- if I put it-
more
if you
room to make
want me-
sure
if
she
you
didn't
want me
hit him.
to
It sounds
say-
like.
If you want me to give my honest observation is why she backed up was to get more distance so she could run him over harder.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on.
Wait, I
your
thought you
your
seeded
claim.
that,
Wait,
so
wait. To be
Why is
clear,
it gonna be? If you
To be
guys are gonna
clear-
be bad faith, I'm gonna be
He's
twice.
gonna
as
run
bad.
up.
first of all, I'm
If
not
you can
being
read
bad faith,
intent,
Grid.
if you can tell me why she backed up with no knowledge of why she backed up, I can go there too.
No,
How
I'm
much
not
did this
claiming
how
to
much did
know.
this
I'm
vehicle
claiming if you
accelerate
watch the
for
video and you
to
think
get away?
anything other than, so if you think you watch the video and think, oh, she's revving up to hit him, like I just don't know what video you watched.
Why did she spin the tires? Why didn't she just ease away?
Because she's scared of the ICE agent grabbing at her driver's side door and her
Then
wife
why-
is screaming at her to drive.
Well, hold on. Okay. All right.
Well, so,
What?
Okay, so I
Okay,
think
what?
The problem is, hold
Why
on, wait,
did-
wait.
but you're-
The
so
problem
you're
is-
telling
hold on,
me-
wait, hold on, stop. So I think the problem is that, like, obviously, there's two different theories here that each one of you are working from. The difference is that you're gonna try to like take these theories and then see which one like the evidence backs up more. It like
Well, no,
just-
wait, Tom, let me be clear. I'm not
Well,
saying the evidence backs up
just
my
one thing,
theory
hold on,
more.
hold
I'm
on,
saying
hold on,
there
hold on,
is
just-
no
hold on, wait,
fucking
wait,
evidence, and you are delusional
Hold
if
on.
you think she wanted to kill this
I got it.
guy. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, correct. That's what I'm getting at. So nobody knows like what her intent was. Nobody has like claimed they know exactly what's in her mind, but they're trying to say that like I think each side is trying to say that they have a theory based on the evidence that is available because they can see what's happening with all of the evidence put together. This is the conclusion that they're going to come to. So we don't have to like try to mind read here or anything. We're just looking at the evidence. This is what's done in court all the time. We look at evidence to look at it to come to a conclusion about whether or not somebody had intent with murder or other things. We were talking about intent with you were talking about intent with assault earlier, and so we can like look at the evidence and come to conclusions based on the evidence. And I think that's what Soypill is trying to get at. He's saying that the evidence makes him
Sure.
come to this conclusion.
Yeah, he
Thank you for the 7.
he wants his intent to.
Ask him what it does his car need to note how much space to avoid an obstacle in front of it and see him struggle to say back up first. Oh.
Subscribe to any of those, right? Like, we can say that she was scared. We can say that, she all of a sudden realized the weight of her mistake in harassing these federal officers doing their job. We could say all of that. Now, you wouldn't be wrong by saying it. But you guys are prescribing. I originally prescribed no intent. I just said this is what it is. This is how it works. You guys keep trying to push to prescribe intent, which I don't really care one way or the other, honestly. It could just be that she had athlete's foot and her foot itched, and that's why she stomped on the gas. I don't fucking know, and I don't care.
Grid, can
All
you see
that
my
really
screen?
matters is the vehicle launched towards that officer in a very sprightly manner, and he defended himself. And that's honestly all I care about. You guys
Grid,
are
I need to
trying
ask you a question. Grid, can you
Yeah.
can you see my screen?
I can't see your screen.
You can?
Mhm.
Okay, you see this thing labeled car?
Oh, wait, hang on. I got to.
What's the other rectangle?
This is anything. Let's say this is car.
Yeah,
This
put
is
it-
also a car.
yeah,
Fuck it.
gotcha.
You know what?
Oh,
Car.
two
All right.
cars, okay.
So you see this one right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a car. Let's say you wanted to go here. What's the first thing you would do if you're in this car?
If I was in that car,
Uh-huh.
well, obviously I would back up.
Oh. Why?
But hold on.
Wait.
Do I need
Are
to
you
back
sure?
up in a hurry, or am I scared? What's my motivation for backing?
My motivation is to get the fuck away from the guy trying to pull me out of the car.
So I'm evading arrest.
Hey, we have already conceded that is very possible something that she could be charged with, okay? Like, we're not at that level. We're acknowledging that she was not backing up to try to get more distance
you
for
know that-
a bigger
just-
ram, right?
Pretty much anything you do while you evade arrest is you're liable for. You understand that? Like it doesn't matter what her intent was. If you're
It
attempting to-
absolutely matters what her intent was here, right? That's what's going to determine if she was still alive, whether they charge her with intent to assault with a weapon or involuntary manslaughter if he had broken his leg because he didn't shoot her or whatever insane scenario you're imagining. Like,
Okay,
the intent
okay, all right,
absolutely matters.
Let's just take this. Let's just take this down. Did they tell her to get out of the vehicle?
Yeah, they also told her to get out of
Okay,
here, right?
Hold on. Did the officer reached to open the vehicle to drag her out after she refused to get out of the vehicle?
Yes, but again, they're giving her conflicting commands.
Just answer the questions. It's easy.
Well, do you
I'm making
acknowledge
this
they gave
easy.
her conflicting commands that we saw in the video, or no?
I only heard the command to get out of the vehicle.
Okay.
So, all right.
Loner, sanity check. I swear to God, did the ICE people not say move, as in move out of the car because they're like, you're blocking, and that's why she's saying to go around?
I believe their exact words were, "Get out of the fucking car." Yeah,
But there were
Yeah,
two commands.
Get out
No?
of the fucking car. That's what I heard.
not just any car. The fucking car.
No, Loner, what I'm asking is, did they not also tell her to move?
They told her to
Maybe
move
I'm being
earlier.
Yeah, they did tell it to move. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Said you
to
were
be clear.
walking.
But when he had his hands on the door, he said, "Get out of the fucking car."
Yes, he said that. That's correct.
Yes. And she chose not to do that. So hold on. If a normal human that is told to get out of the fucking car by a cop who's literally got their hand on the car door to open it,
Mm-hmm.
decides to drive away, what do we call that?
Fleeing arrest.
Fleeing arrest. Is
Mhm.
fleeing arrest a felony in most areas?
I don't know. It's not a capital offense, though.
It's not a capital offense. We're not, but he didn't carry out a capital offense. He did that in self-defense. Capital offense is a totally different thing.
The point is, I'm saying we're acknowledging, and we have several times, so I don't know why we're reiterating this, that she very well could be liable for something wrong here.
Sure.
That doesn't mean that she should have been
you
shot, which
understand
is
that
the
during felony
substance of
flight,
this
if you
debate.
endanger an officer's life, they have the ability to defend themselves.
I'm aware of that. I don't think his life was in danger.
Okay, and that's exactly what happened, and I don't understand why you're arguing.
Whose screen am I looking at now? This is,
Yeah,
this.
Soto, can
Oh,
you see
okay,
this?
dude, you can't just mog me with your much better car drawing. Like you
No,
also
look, it's just
spelled it
that,
better.
you haven't considered the other argument about why she was reversing, right? So you've got car here, and you've got ICE pig bastard here. But you've forgotten the sling factor, right? Which is when you're going to have to turn sideways and then also reverse to get some more momentum to fucking blast them at higher acceleration.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Well,
these-
she was
these
doing one of
Hondas-
those like
It doesn't
James
appear that
Bond.
when she
They're,
where
backs
she-
up,
they're,
she
they're not
actually
to
lines
100
up
is
on
really fucking powerful, like from a few feet backwards. Yeah.
There's also a
Changes
rotate. I think
everything.
there's a rotate feature you're missing here, where like she's turning to the right, so she can kind of like check him with the back of the car, right? Like do this little
Yeah, that's
swing
because if you
maneuver.
hit, in pool, if you hit the ball at an angle, it kind of spins around. So maybe she
Right.
wanted to like.
She
fucking
wanted to disorient him a little bit
catapult
so
him.
that like she
Yeah.
could get away and he wouldn't know which
Okay.
way she
throw him
went.
into a spiral.
So
okay.
So-
again,
The guys on the
wait,
left, I
Hold on,
want
hold on.
Hey, we
Audio
got
on
a
the
mic
road,
back.
It doesn't bother anyone.
Yeah, we got
Sorry, I had
back. Okay.
issues.
So 1 second. So Soypill, there's a possibility that she was reversing to hit him. Yes. Like, what is the evidence that you say like discredits that?
Oh,
makes
where
you think
she's
there's no
turning the
way
wheel
he
away
was-
from him, clearly in the video that he released. Yeah. Like I don't know why else she would if she was trying to hit him, why she would turn the wheel in the opposite direction of the only person that's even remotely close to being in front of the car, right? Like why else would she do this? Is it so
So
she
the
could? Is it
great
because she
thing is
only
that there's
wanted to
like
hit him
a-
just a little bit, or is it because she's trying to get away?
So Grid, do you think there's like if we were trying to read intent here, we're trying to figure out what it is she's attempting to do, because that is the claim from the Trump administration, is that she was trying to hit him and that she was a terrorist, right? That like, would she try to hit him with the corner of the car, or do you think she would try to like hit him with the middle of the car? What do you think the evidence is?
like
here?
I don't know. I mean, I understand where some people are saying that, because it looks like when she backs up, she literally backs up to line up directly with him. And I understand that she turns the wheel. I don't know. I'm not even going to guess as to what is going on there. I only really need to know two things. She accelerated towards him, regardless of which way the wheels were turned. She did in fact hit him, and
Why do you keep saying that? In fact, like we clearly watched that this is not determinable from either of those three videos or any of the three videos.
I don't
That
understand
he
why
was
you're fighting so
by the
hard that
car?
he got hit with the car. Like,
Because
that's
this is not
crazy.
clearly determinable. I'm not saying it's
Oh, yeah.
impossible. I'm saying this is not what we
All
see
right,
on the
sure,
video.
sure, fine, whatever. I don't need to stick on that point. He felt like he was going to get hit. Let's just say that he felt like his life was in danger.
Yeah,
You
but that's why I'm
disagree?
asking you in law enforcement
you
in general.
disagree?
Like, that's
You
why
disagree?
that's why I want to know.
I'll say it's
No, I
reasonable to
don't know
believe
if he
that.
felt
Yeah.
like, I don't know if he felt like his life
He's
was
not
in
a
danger.
fucking robot. He's not like, oh, let's put the law enforcement program into him. He's a fucking human being, dude, who got dragged
buy a car like 6 months earlier and like spent some time in the hospital for that. So yeah, the guy, it was kind of like a mix of perfect chaos. You got a guy who had previously been dragged by a car. Now he's standing on ice in front of this car with these people who already shown that they don't want to fucking cooperate, right? And now you got the wife jumping in there saying, "Drive, baby, drive," like they're Thelma and fucking Louise. And you're gonna think that they're not gonna accelerate at me, and he's right in front of them. He's got a split second to make a fight or flight decision. And nobody's going to make the morally perfect decision every time in those types of like split second decisions. I'm sorry, this is fucking.
I have to ask. Do you think his previous interaction with this car where he was dragged, do you think that should have weight as to whether or not he performed the correct decision, or do you think that this should be irrelevant?
I don't know if
he was dragged because his arm was stuck in the car.
Wait, that's not what I asked. I asked, do you think that we should view it with a different lens, knowing that he has experience with this happening to him, as in that might justify him taking an otherwise unjustifiable action?
Unjustified by what conditions?
No. I'm not asking you to concede that it's unjustified. I'm asking you that if it was unjustified, do you think that his past experience helps to justify this current action?
What I was making a point toward, no,
Are you just not gonna?
I don't think that's gonna come when you come down to like the legal brass tacks about things. I don't think that previous action, or maybe it will be. I don't know. Maybe his lawyer.
So
will
why
say,
why
hey,
did you bring it up, Joe?
I take that back. I think it actually might be relevant if he goes to trial. The fact that he got dragged by another car, it might be perfectly relevant to bring up in his defense. Actually.
Okay.
Makes me wonder why he decided
Sorry.
to nonchalantly pace in front of the fucking.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say,
sorry,
like,
you guys,
wait,
you guys are
hold on,
missing
hold
context,
on.
and now this kills it for
So-
you. I'm sorry.
No, that's great. That's
No,
great.
no.
That's great.
Hold on,
Yeah,
wait,
okay.
wait.
Well, it seems to be
hold
the-
on.
I mean,
hold on.
it's not the
Stop,
same.
Stop. Grid, stop. Hold on. So the argument was brought up earlier, Joe. You missed it. So the argument was brought up earlier that if he had like past trauma, then normally like somebody who has problems like after they get shot at or after they get attacked, lots of times if they have issues, they go through like psych evals to make sure that they're capable of doing the job without having some sort of bias or some sort of
spurred out
problem
shooting moment.
doing
Yeah.
the job. So if this was something that you think played into his decision, normally when they go to court, they would be arguing as to whether or not.
Okay, I do have to address this libbed out left comment right here from Borapaz. Also, wouldn't it be more optimal to shoot at the tires instead of at the windshield? No. This is like the lib, like, why don't you shoot them in the leg? Like, no, this is like if you're actually in fear of your life, you put the target down. But this is not a scenario where this needed to happen.
All experiences equal trauma. I think it's an on-the-job experience that he got. He could have just gotten through this, not had any trauma, and still just said, hey, since I have experience going through something like this, this is looking actually pretty scary in this moment right here where I'm getting accelerated at. And Thelma and fucking Louise over here are yelling, "Drive, baby, drive."
Wait, Joe, have you seen the video
Your
of like
argument
that
is about
cop?
trauma,
Wait,
though,
Tom, can I ask?
Your argument is about trauma, though, isn't it? If you're saying that he's more likely to pull the trigger, like, isn't that
I'm
about
saying
trauma?
if he has an experience with a disobedient driver, right, who he's levying commands at, and they drive off anyway, I think that's going to come into play.
Well, yeah, but Joe, okay, have you seen the video of the cop and he's walking next to a car and an acorn falls on the top of a car? He thinks it's a gunshot and he begins just like shooting down the sidewalk. You've seen that, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Do you think that was
I've seen
justified, or do you think he was being incompetent?
Do I think he was justified in getting scared by an acorn?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. It's like I said earlier. They don't put like law enforcement software in the back of this guy's fucking neck, and they become law enforcement robots.
Okay.
And just do everything perfectly.
Just yes or no. Do you
right? They're
think he
human
performed
fucking
his job well, or do you think he shouldn't be a police officer?
No, I don't. I think he had a very human moment, right?
Okay,
What is this
I
fucking
was going to
squirmy
use
shit
this as
that
a scenario to
supposed to
say this shouldn't justify, but you are defending acorn dipshit cop as like, oh man, sometimes we all get scared by an acorn and unload a mag into a public street. Like this is
Whatever
like
happened to that guy?
ridiculous to defend. I
It's
don't know. He
supposed to
should
be
be
an
fired.
objectively
I'm not
reasonable
defending- I'm
standard.
not
It's not supposed to be
defending
a
him.
personal
I'm just
saying,
experience
like,
is weighing in the
curious
decision
now.
anyway.
By the way,
You
when
want
she
me
was
to
shot in the head, the
defend
round
there,
went out the
bro?
left
It's a
side of her
guy who
head.
had a
I actually don't
fucking
know. I
spoon
saw the
on himself.
files, and it
He
looks
got
like she has 2 in the
scared.
chest.
Like maybe
I don't
he
even know if
shouldn't
she
be a
was
cop
shot in the head
anymore.
3
I don't
times,
know.
but I think that might still be
Maybe he shouldn't
determined.
be a
We'll see.
fucking
I'd love to
cop.
know what happened to that guy. But
Can you
I
tell
mean, they're
Jack Ace to stop
incompetent in
calling them
anything,
Thelma
but
and
this-
Louise? It's
this
obvious he's
officer
making fun of
doesn't
the
seem
death
to
of
be
a lesbian.
incompetent. He's
Thank you for
been,
the 5. I
he
don't
was,
actually
quite
think
a
that's why
history
he's
of
doing it. I mean, maybe he
actual
is, but like
competence.
Thelma and Louise, it's
So,
more about like the
you know,
Yeah, I
two
don't know what
criminal
fucking
women,
Acorn
not the
has to
lesbian
do
part,
with
but
this
maybe.
shit. Is
I'm sure this
Acorn
guy's
It would
also
be an
horribly
easy
homophobic and
narrative,
racist,
yeah.
but
Yeah, hey, Acorn versus car,
I think the
accelerating
question
at
about
you.
the acorn is to talk about like reasonability, that like we can all understand that somebody might be scared when an acorn drops, but do we think it's
Yeah.
reasonable to then
So-
pull a trigger is the question. And so we can
Yeah,
all
so
say that
the-
like, yes, this guy, we all might think it makes sense if we were dragged by a car at some
Uh-huh.
point that we might be
It's the
more
whole-
likely to pull a trigger,
it's-
but does that
So,
mean that this
okay.
is justified then?
It's the whole legal
Okay,
question. It's
Tom,
about
so-
whether or not
so
it was
Tom,
an
so-
objectively reasonable standard. So it's what would an objectively
Yeah,
reasonable
great.
person
So
believe this?
If he
Not did
got
someone
put back
have
on
a
duty,
idiosyncratic personal response? Yeah.
if the guy got put back on duty, is that his fault?
well, hold on. That's
well, that's irrelevant. We're talking about whether or not he's incompetent
So
and,
let
and
me-
acted
I don't know what his
responsibly.
point is.
If
Let me-
if his superiors are also incompetent, yeah, okay, we can talk about that. The point is that Acorn guy, clearly this is not a reasonable action of a police officer. I don't know why you're defending it, but it also
I
wouldn't be
didn't
more.
defend it. I said he should.
Yes, you said, hey man, we
Let's
all have
talk about
human moments.
Gibson's-
You know, it happens. You
No,
were
I'm
defending
saying-
it.
I don't
I
even
said
remember enough
on
about
the-
Acorn. I would like to know what happened to Acorn guy though. That would be I should look
It doesn't
that up,
matter
'cause
what
it'd
happened
be-
after. What I was asking, the
it'd be
point was to
very interesting to see
illustrate
if you
that
can
if you
find
hear an
out.
acorn hit the top of a car and you begin to unload your magazine
It-
at no one in a
again-
public street, do you not think this is unreasonable?
Well,
Yeah,
I
that is
obviously think it's unreasonable.
Okay, it
but
is
I'd like
unreasonable.
to find
Okay,
out if he
would it be
kept his
more
job. That
reasonable
would
if he
be
had
hilarious
gotten?
to
Hold
know.
on. Would it be
But-
more reasonable if he had gotten shot at like a month before?
Potentially, sure.
Okay, the answer is no. Like, yeah, you can understand why he might be scared, but that does not make him in the right just because he has PTSD from a completely separate incident, and now this completely unjustifiable shooting is not now justified because he heard an acorn drop because he has PTSD. In the same way that this guy, who might have been in the right in the scenario where he got dragged by a car, does not mean that he is allowed to now shoot people because he has PTSD. What that means is he's incompetent.
Well,
he needs a psych eval, and he
okay,
shouldn't
hold
be a
on.
police
So wait,
officer.
so
or an
wait,
ISO.
wait, wait.
Let me. I want to walk you through something.
Please
Hold on
name
one
Renee
second, one
Good
second.
as much as you
So,
can.
Bill, if
I
somebody,
guess.
if we found out
Thank
that
you,
Renee
Mr.
had
Fox.
actually been attacked by officers in the past, that they had come and grabbed her car, pulled her out, like beat her up, totally unjustified, they all like got in trouble and went
Mhm.
to jail, and she had some trauma from this, and then
Yeah.
we find out that this is
This
why
does,
she
yeah,
ran.
this does not justify
walked
her
through the
actions to
drop.
flee. No, it
You-
doesn't.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
go ahead.
You're past. Yeah, this.
Yeah. So let me.
course not.
So let's. Well, Acorn guy is just a sidetrack. I was just interested in whether or not he had ever gotten if he got fired or whatever. That'd be hilarious.
They
to find
probably
out.
investigated
But-
themselves and found that he is completely viable as a cop.
We do, but we are a sum of learned experiences, right? Like that's how we deal with things.
Are you
right?
aware of
So-
like the legal precedent of like reasonable action? Like this is a thing that like
Yeah, I'm aware.
lawyers have to
Hold on,
decide.
Dude,
Okay.
you want to answer for me, or I mean, I can.
I promise, as much as I try, I don't think I could dumb it down as much as you are.
I'm trying to dumb it
Okay,
down as
go
far
ahead,
as I
Greg.
can for you, but it's just not getting there. So
Hmm.
so you understand that we have learned reaction, right? So and this guy
Thank you,
was
Airsofting
dragged
Wrong.
because he trusted the guy that was going to get out of the car. He reached in the car. The guy drove off, and literally that's why this officer he didn't do anything particularly stupid. He just made a slight judgment error in trusting someone for a split second, and the guy drove off and did in fact drag
I don't know
him,
what happened in
for
this
like
first
400
scenario.
yards or some stupid thing like that.
Yeah, I don't know
And,
what happened
but
in the first scenario.
I
whether
don't
or not
know
he was
that,
acting properly.
that would incur something resembling PTSD. That might be that, hey, I'm never going to put my fucking arm in a window again.
Okay, but I'll stand in front
I'm
of
not
the
doing
car.
that shit. And I'm
Twice.
not going to be, so we are a sum of our learned experiences. And I think that trying to label things PTSD or say, well, he may not have even been qualified to have been back on the street is kind of, I mean, that first of all, it's lowbrow. And
I'm
and
saying he's
you're
not
better
qualified
than
to be
that.
back
I
on the
don't know why you're
street
going there.
if we're using his past experience as justification for him unloading 3 bullets into a person that is on the side of him at this point. That is
But
what I'm
nobody's
saying.
done that. I haven't done that.
Hold on.
I'm not.
Doesn't the first bullet go through the front of the windshield?
It does.
Where's his body?
Yeah.
In
what's
front
Oh,
of
it's at
it.
the side.
claim
Okay,
of-
yeah.
Well, we did.
Are
We
you-
went over the.
are
He's
you
right.
sure?
Okay, hold on. So physics here. So right-handed, you can't be on the side of the car and go through the windshield. I mean,
Well,
Yeah,
hold
I'm
on.
sorry,
what?
Hold on, wait, wait,
Hold on,
wait,
right hand
wait,
over-
hold
You can't
on,
shoot
hold
across
on,
It's
your
hold on.
not
body.
He's not curving bullets and
Hold on.
shit.
hold on,
Okay,
hold
do you
on,
want to do
hold
some
on, hold on.
fucking yoga
So
with me?
wait,
Cross
wait,
your
wait,
right
wait,
hand over
wait.
your left
Hold
body
on,
and stretch.
hold on.
Oh, yoga.
Yeah, like
Hold on.
what?
I
Hold on,
like that.
hold on.
That was good. I like that
Stop.
yoga.
Stop. Okay, so we did go over the video just a little bit ago. We did all kind of agree that his feet were on the side of the car when the first shot went off. So it does.
Did they
seem as
acknowledge
though
that?
he
I
was
don't even know if they
leaning
did.
into the car. Well, I thought Grid did. I thought that we can.
He's still. I mean, he's
Joe
still
wasn't here. So
not.
yeah, well,
He's
so
not
that is the
firmly in
point, is
front of the
that he
car.
would be leaning on the car from, like, his feet are on the side, but he is leaning on the hood as he takes the first
Yeah,
shot.
'cause you hit
And
it.
so that yeah,
Like,
we
I'm
can
clear of that
pull it up
speaker over
again
there, but I
for
can bring my right hand
Joe.
over and touch it. Like, fuck me.
We'll just we can pull it up again for Joe if that's contention for you, Joe. We
Yeah,
can.
maybe he
play it
hasn't seen the
again.
video.
No,
That's
it's
fair.
fine. I've seen it before.
Okay.
Like he got grazed by the car either way, and like if he's on the side of him, I still don't see like how the first bullet goes directly through the front.
Okay.
Okay, real quick, we do have.
Wait, no, wait,
some
Tom,
super chats.
Tom, wait, no, we have to address
wait,
this because this is
I promise.
insane.
No, no, no,
Please,
hold on,
please.
Hold on. We'll go right back to it. I promise. We got a couple of super chats. We got an hour left in the show, guys. If you want to send some super chats or questions for anybody, you can send them through a link in my chat. We only have 2 right now. It's a $20 from Aaron M Sound. He said can't figure out if Grid One is bad faith or just hasn't seen the complete video. Bootlicker or confused? Hard to say. Grid, do you want to respond to that?
I've seen a bunch of videos, and I've given my opinion on the ones that from my perspective. I'm not a bootlicker. I think the cop made some mistakes. I mean, he really did. He should have. There was no need for him to, once he had the license plate number, he should have backed his partner up. I've said that. I don't understand kind of why he was met. Maybe you know what, it could be that he was trying to keep an eye on the other woman, and because you have 2 people and you don't know who has what. She could have had a concealed weapon, and he's just kind of trying to make sure that she's not doing something weird. I don't know. Cops have a hard job. There's a reason I'm not a cop. So I don't know. I think the guy did a pretty good job. Other than, I don't think that. I think once a decision had been made to arrest them, well, they're two nitpicks that I have. Once his decision had been made to arrest the driver, the first officer at the door should have said, "Turn the vehicle off," and he didn't do that. We know the vehicle was in parked when they approached, so she had to have put it in reverse. And at that point, the officer at the door should have drawn his weapon and said, "Stop! Put the vehicle in park."
Wait, before he was even in danger for
Hold
his
on,
life, he
I'm
should have
not
pulled the
finished
gun
yet.
and pointed it at her?
If you are going to flee my arrest, then yes, because there's people in front of you. If you are fleeing, you're endangering everyone. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
She was already reversing.
Hold on.
before
I'm
he
trying
moved
to
in front of the
finish.
car,
Guys,
but
you
yeah.
guys can't.
Okay, try
you
to
can't control
wrap it up.
yourselves.
Well, he's been talking for 5 minutes, and I just
hold on.
asked a question.
Try to land quickly, Grid.
Yeah, so I haven't been talking for 5 minutes, but the second, the officer that did get hit, he should have, once his partner had made the decision to detain them, he should have had the wife in handcuffs already. Like I understand that this played out in a very weird way, and again, these guys are, they're federal agents, they're not traffic cops, they're not detectives, they're not anything. They have a very specialized job to do. I'm going to cut them a little slack for that. But as far as police officers, they didn't do it. I mean, this comes down to a traffic stop that was just not handled very well.
Okay. All right. We're going to read the second one. I'm going to let you, Lonerbox, respond to this one, and then we'll go back to you to Soy Pill to continue what it was
About
before.
my
But this one
crazy geometry question, yeah.
This is from Brick Petitions 101 for 199. He said, "Officer created jeopardy isn't an excuse for safety." Do you agree with that, Lonerbox?
As far as I know, that's like a fairly new thing that they've been exploring. I say new. It's been around since about 2011. I know that in Minnesota, they would consider that because they've considered that in previous case law as well, where cops put themselves into
explain
situations
what
that they
that is?
shouldn't. So when people are determining, so in general, it's the overall circumstances that determine whether or not an officer had a reasonable belief to fear for their life or to use
Drawing a picture,
deadly
guys.
force. Usually that'll be the severity of the crime or what's happening in the moment or intent, the perceived intent of the drivers. That's why people who very slowly try to escape like a traffic block after they just ended a high-speed chase and they start slowly moving the car again. Cops have fired into the car even when no one's in danger immediately because it's not worth allowing the high-speed chase to continue. It's too dangerous. Officer created jeopardy is this idea that it would also consider
I
things
hate
that the
that
police
Warner
officers do
is more
themselves in
informed than
violation
the
of
two
protocol to
Americans.
put
I mean, it's
themselves
probably
into a
also more
dangerous
informed than me. I
situation.
haven't researched the
And
law
an
on this.
example here of Officer
yeah,
created jeopardy
'cause
would
he's
be the car is moving
better than most
before
Americans.
he walks in front of it.
But he's British, so
which would obviously,
you take what you can
obviously the way that they're talking to her and everything else might contribute to the situation. So I don't know
Okay,
about
so
how it works
the-
legally, but it makes sense. But I think absent that, it's still not justified.
Just quickly, I do see this in the chat. A bunch of people keep saying like they weren't legally allowed to conduct traffic stops. From my understanding, this wasn't a traffic stop. That she was blocking the road. She was there for over 4 minutes. She was following around the ICE officers for a long period before that. And even the claim from
I have
ICE,
no
from
idea who
DHS,
Spooky
and from the
Scary
Trump
Socialist is. I
administration
have
has
no
been that
comment.
she was obstructing, and so they do have a right
Yes.
to detain people over obstruction. Soypill or Wonderbox, do either one of you disagree that she was blocking the road or that she may have been obstructing?
I think she was probably there to like be annoying, maybe even disrupt them.
Be a
But it was
nuisance
also
to them.
clear that one, they could have gone around her because another car did, and two, she's waving them around. So at worst, she was like,
Sure, but the
"I'm
question
making
is
your
that-
life
the
a little
question is
harder."
about
Not
that. The
she's.
question is about whether or not this is a traffic stop. Like, we
Oh
don't think
no,
this
it's
is
not a traffic
We all
stop. But
agree.
the
We
reason
were
we
there
keep bringing
because
up
she was
traffic stop
obstructing.
is because it's the same kind of scenario of person in a car that might be idling, and you're walking up to this car, and there's a reason why cops go up and they approach from
No, no, no,
behind
no.
and the sides, right? That's the only reason we're
The
saying that. But
argument
no,
is
it's
that-
not.
No. The argument from like that keeps being brought up in chat, as I said, is I'm addressing something that keeps being brought up in chats where they keep saying that they don't have the right to detain her because they don't have a right to enforce traffic stops. And so I'm saying we all
Oh,
agree
okay,
this
okay.
was not a traffic stop.
I-
They were
I-
stopping
yeah.
her because she was
Oh.
obstructing. Yes.
I mean, the courts have been fairly clear that while they cannot affect the actual arrest, they can detain someone doing these things until the police actually show up to arrest them. That's been pretty clear for a few decades now. So
Okay, so Soypill, you wanted to go back to your question earlier. Did I
Yeah.
lead
So
too
our
long?
friends were confused by geometry, so I'm going to share my screen because this is I don't understand what this is so difficult.
Okay,
Um,
you guys are
Let
killing
me know
me
when
with
you
the
can see.
screen.
And just in case,
right.
this is also a car.
Wait. Stop what you're doing. Sorry. Stop
What?
1 second.
Oh, did I not
I
put
just
the
need to
pig nose
ask.
on him?
I just put that away.
Yeah. Oh, do you have
Bury
another one? Okay.
I just need no. Just bring it back in a second.
Okay.
I just need to ask Kung Fu Joe because you said earlier, what part of the windscreen was hit? Where's the bullet hole? Is it in like which quadrant? Is it in like the middle, the left third, the right third? How would you describe where it is?
Probably. Well, I didn't look at the very exact spot, but it looks like it's like toward the bottom corner.
It's like an inch away from the bottom corner, right? An inch in, barely. Okay, just checking. All right, you
Okay.
can continue.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can show my beautiful drawing. Okay. So, well, no, I can't
Just
see it 'cause
please
it's down there.
for the
All
last
right.
screen there. It's
Right. I'm
killing
sorry,
my,
but just to be clear,
my podcast.
do you understand?
Soypill was there.
Do
He
you see?
knows,
Do you see?
right?
No, I
That's
just
why
watched the
he's
video because
so
I have eyes.
accurate,
Do you
right?
see how? Do you see how
yeah,
this guy is
yeah.
to the side,
Your
and do you see
perspective
how
is
he
so
can still
great.
shoot into the front of the car? Is this like
Oh,
impossible,
you
or do you
had a
think this is
bird's
not
eye
possible?
view.
I didn't say
Well,
this is
hold on,
what
Joe.
happened.
Joe,
I'm
wait,
asking.
Joe,
I'm asking you to
Joe, hold on,
acknowledge that
wait,
this
wait,
is
Joe,
possible.
we don't have to. Joe, we all agree. Yes, we're all here to have a conversation about something that none of us were there for. So we all only have the same perspectives from videos. Yes, Joe.
Insane speculation.
No. This isn't
Well, that-
speculating.
that- but that-
There's a
you
fucking
said-
video
We're
of
going-
it, and the bullet hole is
Hold on. We're going based on like evidence in the videos, right? So we're going to like reference the
Wait,
videos.
but
If you
Tom,
disagree
Tom,
with what
wait,
he's
hold on.
showing you-
There's
hold
no
on,
bird
hold
You're
on,
going
wait,
too. But
hold
you're
on,
going too
hold on.
far, Tom.
Hold
I'm not.
on,
I'm.
hold
you're-
on. Stop. Hold on, Joe. We're all referencing the videos. If you disagree with what he's referencing and say that it happened differently, you're free to do that. But we're all coming from the same perspective of looking at the video. Yes.
Just saying that that angle is nowhere in any of the footage.
Wait,
right?
okay, but
Like,
hold
Just to
on,
be clear,
Joe.
hey,
I'm not
angle,
asking you to
well,
say
hey,
this is
that's
exactly what
You were-
happened. This is
you were
you said.
literally
Wait,
earlier
Lonerbox.
saying-
Yeah.
No,
Go ahead.
one thing. You were literally earlier interpreting Drive Baby Drive as a Thelma and Louise tone. Like, yeah, you can still watch a video and infer things or talk about like geometry. What the fuck? Anyway.
Okay, and now really
Dude,
quickly,
he's
the
telling her
reason
to
I'm drawing
speed
this,
the fuck
Joe,
away.
is not to say this is exactly what happened. The reason I'm drawing this is you said, how could the bullet go into the front if he was standing to the side? Do you acknowledge that it is possible for his feet to not be in front of the car and a bullet to go through the windshield here?
No, I'm saying that's fine, and then it hits her also. I mean,
Yes. Is this
that's-
possible?
I don't know,
I'm not saying it definitely happened. I'm just asking you to acknowledge that you can shoot
Well, this
through a
is-
windshield and while
is
you're to
why
the side.
I offered to pull up the video again earlier to show that his feet were on the side, leaning over the front of the car,
Yeah,
so that we can see that.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
was
it
generally
obviously hit him because
No,
he
it's
went from
fine.
in front to side.
That's fine.
What?
Also, apparently she
My-
said Drive Baby's got a gun, not Drive Baby Drive. So you editorialized that as well. Whoops.
To be fair,
Why
I
do you do
heard
that?
it that way
telling,
too.
Telling her to drive at all is fucking stupid. I would say, like, if I look at this event, it's like a collapsing of dominoes to me. There's one domino, the first domino has to fall before the other ones do. So I think the most morally like culpable person is probably the wife saying drive, right? That sets
Wait,
the whole
who
chaos
who
of
has the
moving.
most onus in any police interaction? Is it the random civilian or the police officer? Like, who should have more
That's not-
responsibility?
That job is up to the courts. What I'm talking
No,
about here is
not
just
in this
general-
scenario. In general, do you expect the person who has the training and the ability to kill legally to have more responsibility, or the civilian?
No, that he has a responsibility. That's why if
More
she's about to
than
take
the
off-
civilian, yes or no?
Yeah, more than the civilian. So if she's
Okay.
about to take off and flee the scene and become a public danger now, I think it's well within their right to stop her before she turns that car into a weapon
Oh.
against civilians.
Okay, wait. So
That's-
even if she
is that
didn't,
not a
even if they
possibility?
didn't fear for their life, if they thought she was going to be a danger just because she's driving away, they should have shot her.
Sometimes that is the case.
That is sometimes the
Not
case.
sometimes,
In
in
this
this case.
in this
actually,
case,
that's actually been held up. Your
I am
partner
aware
just
that this
said
is a thing
earlier.
that can happen in other cases. I'm asking you in this case
Wait,
whether
wait,
they're
wait, wait.
justified.
What the fuck did you just do, Grid? When did I say it's been held up like that? What situations?
You literally said a few moments ago that when a car has been stopped after a high-speed chase and it moves forward even incrementally,
Yeah.
shots have been fired into it.
And what did I say? And what's the one thing I said that would make this completely different from those examples?
I'm not really sure what makes it
Did you
completely
fuck-
different. Please,
What is
please,
this fucking
please
selective
reiterate it.
memory
No, no,
you
no,
have?
no,
That
please,
was in the
please.
context
No,
of
tell-
someone
tell me,
who had
Lone
reached a
Fox,
police.
tell
Please
me.
reiterate it.
That was in the context of someone who had reached a police barricade, stopped after a high-speed
Sure.
chase where they'd been going at 100
Yeah,
miles an hour
okay.
for like 5 minutes, and then they're about to start
Sure,
again. And then at
okay.
that rate, you're like, okay, this person is stop talking. This person's probably
So
going to be
someone that's
going 100 miles an hour
obviously-
again, and they will
Hold on,
obviously
hold on,
Someone
Fred,
that's not following
endanger
police
people.
orders, who is
Hold on,
obviously
Grid, let him finish.
agitated, who has
You
said,
think that
drive,
you think the
baby,
significant
drive,
variable there? You
and
think the
who
significant
is
variable
spun out
there?
on the ice, hold on. Honestly, you don't think that that's public endangerment if that officer allows that vehicle to drive away?
The entire fucking police system in every reasonable country in the
That's not
world
what I
disagrees
asked
with
you.
you.
That's not what I asked you.
I'm just
It's a
answering it right now.
It's a very specific question. I'd love for you to answer it. Is it public endangerment for the officer to allow that vehicle to drive away knowing what he knows?
No.
Is it like any public endangerment? Kind of.
Oh my
Yeah. Wait,
God.
hang on. Do you think that it's protocol to fire on everyone who drives away from the
No,
cops then?
I didn't say
Total
that. I said,
obfuscation
given
think it
this
should be?
very
Their question.
specific situation, given that she's obviously very, very agitated,
Grid is
she
actually
has
a
thrown her
Make-A-Wish.
car into reverse. She is spun out on the ice, and he hears "Drive, baby, drive." She's
Thank you, Fun Yord, $10. First responders observed 2 gunshot wounds on the right side of Good's chest, one on her left forearm. Yeah, so she didn't even get hit in the head. That's what I'm saying. And one with protruding tissue on the left side. Oh, wait, what? Left side. So there's 4 gunshot wounds? Or one went through her head and then hit her left forearm, or her left forearm and then the head. Or Yeah, I'm a little confused at how this all three can happen. I'm gonna look. I gotta look at the reports real quick, just in case this is relevant.
The officer, at fault for that, for allowing that to happen?
If you
Do I
if you
share
let someone-
responsibility for allowing that to happen?
because
Yeah, Loner
it depends
Box, let
on
me
what
ask you,
it
do you
depends.
think she would have only gone like a block
I
down the
can
street? and
only
stopped?
I can only handle
Hold
one
on,
fucking
hold on,
dribbler
just-
at a time,
I'm
please.
just curious.
I
I can only
really
I
wanna
can
know.
only do one fucking childminder job at a
understand.
time. Jesus Christ. Okay, so first of all, it depends on what you know and the moment. So if you pull someone
Mhm.
over for like a traffic stop or for like a toll violation or something, and then they're like, "Fuck you, I'm not really interested in this," and they drive off, and you've got generally a cop, and you do not disagree with this unless you're a fucking idiot. A cop would be advised to let them go, take their
Okay,
note
I
their
read
license plate,
the article.
and
There's not
find them
much more
and
than what
arrest
you
them
posted,
later or
Funder.
send
Thank
them,
you.
in a different way.
This
Because
this does
a
not
high-speed
determine
chase
whether or not we
is
know
public
how
endangerment,
she was
whereas if
shot.
someone just drives away
Unfortunately,
from the cops and the cops,
that's-
or at least I
that's
don't
not
know.
gonna
I'm not a
follow them.
forensics
You're
expert.
Then they
avoiding the
won't go
question
high
I
speed.
asked you. I asked you a very specific question. Let me repeat it. Given this woman's state, had he just somehow gotten
No,
out of
he
the way,
would
or
not
maybe
be.
he just took
I'm
it.
obviously
maybe
saying
just
he
took
would
the
not be
hit
culpable. He would not be culpable if she drove off and then just decided to go on a
and just
fucking
ran over a bunch
joyride.
of school kids because she
Yes,
can't
he would
see
not
because
be.
she's.
Yes, he would not be
Wait,
culpable
hold
because
on,
what he
wait,
knew in
hold
the
on.
time.
Interesting.
Yes,
Hold
because
on,
what?
Grid.
I
What
think
do you
you're
mean
full of
interesting?
shit.
Are
So
you
hold on,
fucking
wait,
serious?
wait,
Wait,
I think you're full of shit, and I think you know you're
fuck,
full of shit.
Hold on,
Tom,
hold on,
Tom,
hold on.
wait,
Grid.
no,
He's,
no, no, no.
he's
I need one.
asking. No. I need to
Okay.
clarify this real quick because Grid. He's stating like what the standard is. You initially asked about the standard. He stated what he believes the standard to be, and he's saying that there would have to be evidence that she is driving recklessly and that she might hit somebody before they can make that determination. Do you disagree with his statement that they would need that forethought in order to make that determination?
They would need to have a good reason to believe that she might do something like that.
Well,
based
wait,
on
Loner Box. Have
Oh,
you
no,
seen the
just
Have you
obey
seen the
orders,
angle?
bro.
Have you seen the angle of the
Okay,
shooting?
wait,
Hold on,
Wait,
I'm
wait,
asking-
Loner,
love-
Loner,
hold on,
Loner,
I need
Loner.
Grid
Joe.
to answer the question, please. Hold on, I need Grid to answer the question in order for this to move forward. Grid, do you disagree with the
Thank
fact
you,
that
I
they
am
would
as the
need
Fox.
that
Why does Tom
evidence
keep
before they
saving
can make
Grid?
that determination?
Because he's too good
think they
faith
had
and thinks
enough
Grid is
That's my
genuinely
point.
like
She was
a good
agitated.
faith in your
She
lock
drove
or not a
off.
fucking
She was
moron.
fleeing the
Agitated. She
scene
was saying,
of
"I'm
a
not
very.
mad."
So hold on. She was fleeing the scene of a what originally was a very minor issue. She escalated this. Her and her wife escalated this at every possible occasion. There
I'm
was
sorry.
as the officers are
You
trying
said
to say,
the
hey,
officers fucked up by not telling her to turn the car off, and you're saying the guy who
I do agree.
shot her in
I
the
can-
head
I-
is not
both
the
things
most
can be true at the
escalatory
same
action.
time. Both things can be true at the same time.
You
Just
said
because the
that
officers
she
fucked up
escalated.
doesn't mean the other people didn't fuck up.
You're implying
But
that
that's
they are
what
the
you're
most
saying.
escalatory in this
no,
case.
You guys
Hold
are
on.
dodging and evading. You know that if that had happened, if it was me in that car and I drove off and I plowed over a bunch of school kids because I was
Why do
crying
you keep
and I
saying
couldn't
this like
see
this
and all
was
of
an-
that, you would want that officer hung because he didn't do his job.
Loner, have you
Okay,
seen?
hold
Wait,
on,
wait,
wait,
Loner,
wait,
Loner.
wait,
Stop.
I need
Hold
to
on,
ask. I need to ask.
hold on,
Loner,
I
have you
need to
seen?
answer
She
my
Wait,
question.
escalated at
Tom.
every opportunity.
Hold on,
She had
Grid.
every
Tom, can I ask the
opportunity
question,
to
please?
de-escalate.
Grid. Hold on. I'm asking you. So you do
Yeah.
you agree with the standard that he set up? Yes, that they would have to have evidence. Yes, you're saying yes. And then you're saying that they have that evidence at the time. Yes.
Yes.
And the evidence
car
is
was
that
in
they
po-
were
okay,
escalating. Hold on, wait,
Yeah.
hold on. You're saying that the evidence is that they were escalating, and
He was
that
escalating.
they. Okay, and so you believe that that is evidence of like some sort of like recklessness from them to where
Absolutely.
the cops would believe. Okay, so Loner Box,
Wait.
why do you disagree with that?
Wait, I have.
Well, because that sounds like if they had enough evidence to believe that she would be a public danger. The question is whether or not
why
they're
they were
enough of a
arresting
public
her.
danger. Yeah, the question is whether or not they're enough of a public danger to use deadly force on them, which is why sometimes a joyrider will stop and then start again slowly, even if no one's in their way, and it's still okay to shoot them because they've shown that they're willing to drive at 100 miles an hour. But you guys both sound like you're saying that this person in particular, had given them enough information to make that risk enough for them. So that's why I'm asking.
Wait, I really want to
Yes,
ask good
that's
good
why I'm
faith
asking
Loner.
you,
Loner,
Kung
you've
Fu
seen
Joe,
all the
that's why I want
videos.
to ask you this very simple question, and that sounds like then every time someone mouths off at a cop and then drives away when they're not supposed to, the cop will be liable to shoot them. No?
No, this is a totally different scenario. These are ICE officers.
What did she? She
and
mouthed
these
off
are
at him
people-
and then she
Hold
drove
on,
off.
dude, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to reply to your fucking question, dumb fuck. Okay, so like these are ICE officers, and these are people who are directly in opposition to them, and they're making it known that
They-
they're there to protest and fuck with their whole thing.
Mhm.
They've already made it known they're there to disobey. Okay, I think we have, and a lot of these people have already been dangerous towards the cops. There's no reason not to think that these people could be dangerous.
Okay, Tom, can I ask my
Okay,
question
so-
now,
oh,
please?
Hang on. Wait,
Okay.
no, wait, fucking
Okay.
one question then.
Lo-
So
Lauren
even
Box, let
if
me-
even
if I
if
may.
the cop wasn't in the way of the car, you think they'd still be justified to shoot her then if she drove off?
Okay.
No?
If
Yes or no?
If there
Let's
was
say
no
the-
cop
so
in front of
you
the
think
car,
that she gave them enough
Possibly.
information
Possibly.
to convince them reasonably that
Possibly.
she was a threat. Possibly. You're a fucking retard.
Possibly.
Like,
Yeah,
you-
this
Well,
is-
hold
so-
on, hold on,
Dude,
hold on.
by
I
your-
didn't say.
by your
hold on,
logic
hold on,
then.
yeah, hold-
Just so you
How
understand, by your
long is
logic
the
then.
video?
Joe, give me
By
a
your
second.
logic.
If
By your
gentlemen,
logic then, you'd be
Gentlemen.
okay if dozens of people were shot and killed on January 6th.
Gentlemen,
right? Dozens
if-
of
It's not the
protesters.
same. Is that,
Yeah,
if I-
it's,
if
yeah,
I-
it's
hold
actually
on,
way
there's a lot
worse.
more
Wait,
injuries
hold
on January
on,
6th,
like
right?
Grid
There
respond.
were-
Hold on, like
Did
Grid
Yes.
Babbitt
respond.
deserve to get shot?
Joe,
Yes?
Joe. Hold on, Joe. Like Grid respond.
You don't think she did? Wait, why not? She wasn't. She,
Hold on.
Lauren
Lauren
Box,
Box,
if I
she
may.
didn't fulfill your criteria.
I would like to actually, because I think you guys are coming at this
Double
from
standard
two
is so
different points
fucking
of view,
insane,
and
man. What the
I want to try and kind of get this, get the hypothetical back kind of on track here.
Just to be clear, there's a lot more internal bleeding on January 6th than there was from this guy, right? There were cops with broken ribs and shit like that. Yeah, fuck.
So when we look at in the hypothetical I gave you, I didn't say that the cop would have to. Matter of fact, I gave you the hypothetical that he didn't do anything; he just let her go. She mows down some kids. You would want that cop. You'd be like, "Hey, why didn't he stop her? He had the opportunity to
No,
stop
I
her."
would
yeah,
not.
wait,
That's
wait.
a really stupid thing to
Okay,
do. There was no
maybe
reason
you
to go
personally
for a
wouldn't, but-
high-speed
but
chase
I believe
for
that-
that
Can I-
severity of crime.
Grid, can I ask my clarifying question? I really need to know. Can you see my screen?
Go ahead. I'll
You,
finish.
you can
this
see
up.
my
Go ahead.
screen, right, Grid?
I can if I do this.
All right, you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay,
seriously,
so
please
I
relax.
didn't see all the
Gotta stop
videos, but
throwing
like,
bears.
was there like a group of school children here? I didn't see that angle. Is that a thing that I didn't see?
It's a hypothetical. Do you understand how hypotheticals work?
I'm aware of how a hypothetical works, but just to be
I-
clear,
starting
if there
to think-
was,
Not a
if there
hypothetical.
was
Wait, it
a
was
group
not
of
a
school,
hypothetical.
it
We're
was
talking
it
about
was a hypothetical,
justification
Tom.
as to
I was
whether or
giving a
not-
hypothetical.
He was giving a hypothetical,
no,
and
you
to be
were-
clear,
wait,
Tom,
well,
Tom,
no,
Tom,
he
he
was
gave a
giving a
hypothetical. Yes, he
hypothetical. Hold on.
literally was, Tom. He literally gave a
did.
hypothetical. He
He
said
that she was driving recklessly and that they had to see this
And hit
forethought
a
that
group
she
of
might
kids.
do this, which the thing was that she might hit a group of kids.
Yes,
That's
this
not
is
a
called-
hypothetical. That is like what it is that the officers are shooting her
Well, I-
to. That's not a hypothetical. That's
Yeah.
literally justification for the
Well,
shoot.
I mean, no. In this case,
Okay, wait. Now
she
Tom's
hit
being
him. So,
stupid.
but I'm saying that even let's just take away that he never shot at her, nothing like that. I'm just curious with to the depths of how much cope we're going to get in here. So, if you are if an officer allows someone to flee and they do something, public outcry against that officer is going to be pretty high.
Yeah, it depends on what reasonable justification they would assume. Do you think they had any reason to believe that she was going to mow down a group of kids?
She was
If you say
escalating the
anything but no,
situation.
you are delusionally retarded. Like, how could you possibly think that's what they expected
she
her
was
to do?
she escalated a situation she didn't need to escalate. She made a conscious decision to pull the car out of park, put it into reverse, back up, drive away at a high rate of speed, which she didn't get to do because she almost hit a cop and he ended that. But had she would have fled at a high rate of speed, which I don't know. Maybe that's okay by you. You good with that? You
Okay,
good from
two
people
things.
running from
One,
cops? Is
just to
that-
be
is that
clear,
something you like?
obviously, no, they had no reason to believe she was going to mow down a bunch of kids. But two, if there was a group of kids, like there was in my paint drawing, she would have hit them because after they shot her, she had no control of the car, and her car barreled into that car down the street. So
Right.
no.
We're taking away the fact we're saying that you
Dude,
guys
what the
did
fuck?
you guys are right and they didn't shoot and they just held their fire and she drove off. Would the cops
This is
have
so
been
bad
right in
faith,
doing
dude.
You
This is
keep
so-
saying that you guys keep saying, well, you don't think it justifies X. You don't think this. You don't think that. And yet, when we give you a hypothetical, you won't engage with a hypothetical because you know that had something happened, had she hit a bus full of puppies or a carload full of cheerleaders or what the fuck ever, you guys would have been
we engaged
literally
with your hypothetical,
screaming for
Grid.
that cop's
Grid,
balls on a
no,
platter.
we engaged with your
Yeah.
hypothetical. If she had left this scene and then 2 blocks down had hit a car full of puppies, I don't think the cop would be liable because they had no reason to believe she was going to go plow through a car full of puppies trying to evade them. That's insane, and that's why it doesn't justify shooting her.
You don't fucking know that, dude. You don't know how far she would have gone. You don't know how much fucking damage.
You're right.
she
Women
would've
women
done.
are
Have you ever
unpredictable.
seen
They
a
can't
high-
drive.
high
They're
speed-
crying. They can't see. They don't know what they're doing. They could have
Well,
killed
Joe, he
any
didn't
number
say
of
that
people.
they
Who it
wouldn't
was.
hit
It
the
doesn't
puppies.
That's
matter.
why we
Well,
talk
hold
about
on,
what's
Joe, hold
reasonable.
on.
Right, I mean, look,
Fucking
if that,
idiot.
Hold on,
honestly,
wait.
look,
Hold
Joe,
on,
if
hold on,
that's your
hold on, hold on,
position,
hold on, Grid,
fine.
hold on.
Fine.
Joe, they didn't say that that she would not have hit puppies. They didn't say that she wasn't going to do it. They said that the guy wouldn't be held responsible if she had. Maybe she would have, but there's like, I don't know of any case law or any scenarios
I
where
see.
cops are ever
Yeah.
held responsible for something like that if they don't have because normally even cops are told
No.
not to
Yeah, no,
like
Grid-
hit
Yes,
cars
we have
to-
a Tom. We have a
Republican.
case.
I'm
We have
going
a
with
case for
the
this.
Republican
Tom,
opinion.
Well,
we have a case for this in the UK.
Hold on. But Joe, do you think? I want to ask you. Do you think it's
Tom
more
is giving these
likely
people way too much
that
credit.
she's going to hit people if she's alive or dead?
I mean, like if you
It's gonna
look at the
freaking
street
drive.
where she was, it depends. Like how far is she gonna get? She's on a street that's not too active.
To be
and if you
clear,
stop her
Joe,
there-
for you to say alive,
you
she would
stop
have to
her- hold on, let me shut
intentionally
the
hit
fuck up.
them.
Yes, right, correct. She would like she could get away, drive at a high rate of speed, lose, control of her car because they're on the fucking ice, right? And that could result in God knows what. If she barely managed to skid away after she's getting shot, then her chances of causing great damage are going to be much lower than if they let her get away at an even higher velocity of speed. You don't know that she would have perfect control of
Why
her
do you keep
vehicle.
saying this?
That's
You don't know if
fucking
every
stupid.
you don't know if every person you pull off for a fucking traffic stop is
Yeah.
actually Ted Bundy.
Yeah,
right?
by this
don't
logic,
treat them that way though.
Any
Oh,
broken
no,
tail
no.
light check, you should just shoot them if they drive off. Every single one.
I'll give
Yeah,
you,
apparently.
Tom, I'll
I don't
give
think he
you-
even
I'll
realizes
give
that's
you
what
an
he's saying though. This
example.
guy's just a fucking retard. He's actually like dribbling out of the ears.
Dude, you're just
I can see bits of brain like
You're right.
leaking out. You don't know what she would have done. Yeah, no shit, dumb fuck. We don't know what she would have done. But at the end of the day, you have to talk about what's objective, what's reasonable. Is it reasonable to believe that with traffic stops, I'm sure it's happened. There have probably been people who have mouthed off at cops, been a dickhead, driven away, and the cop hasn't pursued them. And then as a result, that person went off and killed 2 people.
I'll read the
This
supers in a
did
second,
happen
guys.
in
Sorry,
the UK,
I-
actually. But what you do is you have to consider what does the cop know at the time. So sometimes most of the time, you're generally not encouraged to do a high-speed chase because unless the stakes are quite high, chasing someone in a car is a bad idea. It's 2
perfectly
vehicles,
reasonable
3
to see
vehicles.
that they're fucking radicals, dude. It's perfectly fucking reasonable.
Oh, they're
that these two
radicals.
people
Well,
Oh,
fucking-
okay.
irregardless
So
of that,
you are
like-
MAGA
like-
then, right?
all right,
You-
right,
you-
The
irregardless
double,
of
the
that-
double, the double
Hold on.
whammy.
People
They're
people at
radicals
Jan
and
6 were radicals,
irregardless.
weren't they? They were talking
Jesus
about hanging Mike
Christ.
Pence. Why didn't cops open fire on 100 people there? Why
They,
not?
they did. They shot him with rubber bullets in
Oh,
the face.
Would
wow.
you have had an issue if they used live fire then, given your standards for this case?
They used live fire on that.
They did. Yeah,
There
Ashley
was
Babbitt
more-
got
there
live
was-
fire.
there was
But there were far
like
more
one
people
person
doing
that had
potentially
died.
any
There
amount
were
of
more
violent
people-
acts, right?
because There
You
was
guys,
more.
you guys,
There
you
was
guys
more
are you
bodily
guys are
harm.
torn up over
Example.
Ashley
There was
Babbitt,
more.
right?
There was more bodily
Well,
harm.
no, did you guys
on January
agree with
6th,
the
right?
Ashley
There was more
Babbitt
severe bodily
case?
harm against cops on January 6th. You agree?
I'm sorry. There
was
other people
more
talking.
severe bodily
Go ahead.
harm and risk of people dying on January 6th than there was in this case.
Well, one person did die on January.
There were
6th.
more cops in danger. So would you have been okay if they fired at more protesters? Because more protesters had weapons. There were lots of protesters there who were saying radical shit and had weapons. You'd have been okay if the cops fired on dozens of people and killed them by their
Cops
standards.
Did fire on people with rubber bullets.
No, with live
Can you
ammunition.
engage-
It's
I
a
understand
hypothetical.
why you can't engage with that question because you realize how much it
Well,
completely
no,
fucks
I'm
every argument
engaging
you've
with
made
it.
here.
But
If
cops
they
did
used
actually
live
fire
fire,
with non-lethal.
What if they used? And I'm asking
Yeah,
you a
but there's a big
hypothetical.
difference
What if they
because
used
they had
live
time.
fire?
You know why they were. You know
What
why
if
they
used live
engaged with
fire? What if they used
non-lethals?
live fire?
Do
What if
you
they used
know
live fire?
why they?
What if
Do you know
used live
why
fire?
they engaged with
What if
non-lethals?
they
You don't.
used
You don't
live
know
fire?
why, do you? Because they had the time to.
He's asking you a
Because they
question.
weren't. They literally were not about to get run over with a vehicle. This guy didn't. This guy could have probably. Well,
There were
I guess
cops who were
not using
literally
taser,
on the
but-
ground. Like,
Yeah,
what are
also
we
to be
talking
clear,
about?
you're not justifying it from the vehicle point right now. You're saying, well, we don't know what would have happened after, so even if he was to the side, it's justified. And Lonerbox is asking you, by this standard, knowing all these people were threatening police officers and we have video footage of them beating them, that those officers would be justified in gunning them down with live ammunition. Would that be the same case for you, the same standard?
There's that black riot officer who's literally like 5 feet away from protesters walking towards him, and he's on his own and he's luring them. But again, he doesn't know that they're not just going to lunge forward and kill him. So why
Hold
wouldn't
on,
we be
let Grid
in
answer the question.
his rights
Grid,
to
Grid,
open fire on
Grid,
them?
can you
Wait, what?
answer Grid, can you answer Soy's question?
It's Lonerbox's question, to be fair, but yeah.
Well,
Which
yeah, you
question?
were
The
The
reiterating
question,
that-
There
would
were
it be
like several
justified since they
questions in a row there.
no, the one question, which is you refuse to engage with, is on January 6th, if these cops know that there's violent intent, they've already seen them commit violence, and they
I've
don't know
already
what they're...
answered.
No, you haven't. Why
I did.
would
They
they
did
be
engage
justified?
with non-lethals,
This-
and I
holy
even
shit.
told you why they
I-
engaged with
hold on.
non-lethals.
Hold on, wait,
I'm going to
wait,
try this
hold
one more
on,
time.
hold
I'm going to
on,
say it
hold
real
on,
slow so you
hold
can
on,
hear me,
hold
okay?
on,
Tom,
hold
no,
on,
I'm going to
wait,
try
wait,
it. All right, Tom, watch this.
Hold on, hold on. Grit, saying what they did is an answer to the question. He's asking about whether or not they ought to have, whether or not they should have. So he's asking for an ought. Like, should they have done this? Saying they did doesn't matter. It's whether or not they ought to have used
You're
lethal
asking me for
rounds
the
on.
ought claim?
Yes.
Okay. If an officer is in fear for his life, yeah, he ought have shot them.
Okay, so you are admitting that the police officers on January 6th should have live gunned down as many riders as they had fear of.
Again, if the officer legitimately had a fear for his life, they ought have shot them.
Wow. Well, they showed
There
incredible
was more
restraint on that
legitimate
day.
fear for life for the cops on January 6th than there was in
That's
this instance, though.
consistent. You guys can't say that's
So,
not
okay,
consistent.
so
Yeah,
that-
but it's also
okay, so-
retarded
so-
because I wouldn't even say this, and I think all those people should be
So
in
wait,
jail.
just to,
So
just to do the
Well,
basics,
hold
of
on,
this,
hold on.
Ashley Babbitt
I
absolutely
believe
had
that
to come in, right?
anybody that's in fear of their life ought shoot the person that has them in fear of their life.
yeah, it sounds like you think
Okay.
that more January 6 people like Ashley Babbitt should have been gunned down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Soy Pill, do
That's
you
all
think
if
Ashley
Hunt-
Babbitt should
Hunter
have
would
been
have been
gunned
fine.
down?
I think
You
Ashley
think her
Babbitt was a
shooting-
very important exception of, hey, not only is she trying to get into this place, she's being told to retreat. She's climbing over a glass barrier and a bunch of stacked chairs to a bunch of congressmen who are trying to evacuate and getting verbal orders to back down and not listening. Yeah, she should have been shot for that, absolutely. But I think that there are more justifiable cases where they could have been shot outside and they weren't, and like, thank God they're alive, right? Like that these officers
Okay,
were able
so-
to know their lives
So,
weren't
hold on.
necessarily in
An
danger.
Wait,
unarmed.
no, so Grid, hold on, Grid. Do you agree that Ashley Babbitt was justifiably shot?
What I know, it was a good shoot. I mean, she was coming at them.
Okay.
The fact that there was no weapon bothers me a lot. That the officer was in such fear of his life that with no weapon present, that bothers me a lot. But for the
What if
rest
she
of
went
it
in there and
is,
killed a bunch of puppies?
huh?
What if there was a room
just-
in the Capitol building with a bunch of school children and puppies, and they thought,
Well,
well,
to be
maybe
fair,
if she gets through,
it's
she
a-
might go kill them.
You're memeing, but that actually was the argument, right? Was because that was the last line between the people
Yeah,
and
that was the, and that's
legislators,
why
and
that's
she was
why
wanting
I'm,
to lead the charge of 100
that's
people
why
behind
I
her,
can
yeah.
say that I'm okay with that. That as far as I'm aware, it's a good shoot because as far as the legend is that there were congressmen and these were the last line of defense. And
Legend
that was,
is?
and they it wasn't just that she was coming through as everybody else was coming through, and there's then that's it.
Wait, Grid,
But there's no-
can I be like
but there's no
100%
weapon
serious,
there
Grid?
that bothers me.
I
There should have been a weapon.
genuinely appreciate the consistency. Like, I'm not even trying to be, but like, I do genuinely appreciate you saying that. Like, not a lot of right wingers would admit that about Ashley Babbitt. So the consistency I do respect. But now my question is, if you think that was a good shoot on Ashley Babbitt, do you think that had more of a justification for fear of what she might do past that barrier than if this person, the cop, was to the side of Renee Good's car and thought, oh, she might go run over a bunch of children? Do you think that was more justifiable in the Ashley Babbitt situation?
Grid, I'm
So-
gonna let you answer the question, and then we do have to move to another
Yeah,
one. so
all
go
right, that's
ahead.
fine. Yeah, so and hypothetically, right? If the
Mhm.
cop was to the side of the car and he can, she does all of the same things, right? She takes the car out of park, the drive baby drive, all of that. She's constantly escalated. It's I think at that point if he had a decent shot, I would say that that vehicle's a weapon now, and I think that he should have shot at her.
Okay.
All right, so 6 federal. Actually, real quick, I do want to read these real quick. We got the Real Caveman for $10.
We're not reading his super chats. Speedster, $5. Tell Tom the car bailing down the road with a dead driver would hit the hypothetical school children. I did. Thank you very much. What was the second one? Moth. That's why cops aim at tires, old man. I don't think cops typically aim at tires. Only maybe in like high speed chases sometimes, or in movies even. I don't know if this is protocol. But thank you for the 2. Oh, not Moth. Mohit. I'm sorry, I can't read it. It's very small. And thank you, Underclock, for becoming a member.
Driven through. I guess, Joe, if there was a possibility she was going to drive through 10,000 pedophiles, would you be upset if they had shot her? Do you think they should be charged afterwards?
Should they be charged? I don't see. I mean, I would be like, hey, great, she did that and she wiped them off, but I don't know how.
No, Joe. The question is, by shooting her because they are, for whatever reason, they shot her. They've prevented her from killing 10,000 pedophiles who then go on to offend. So, do you think the officers should be charged for this?
Stupid fucking hypothetical, dude.
Well, I mean, is there not like
truly,
more chances of there hitting a bunch of hypotheticals versus hitting a bunch of puppies?
I
mean,
think that just
value
it
pedophiles,
doesn't
yeah.
matter who they hit. I don't think they would have been legally hit, right? Like she would have still done that illegally,
Okay.
right?
Fair enough. All right. So today, 6 federal prosecutors in Minnesota resigned after the Trump DOJ pressured them to stop investigating the shooting of Renee Good, and instead they wanted them
This
to
is news to me. I
investigate
didn't know about
Good
this.
and her fiance. The prosecutors afterwards did make statements, I believe, and said that they were told that they had to stop. Do you Grid? Do you think that they should be pressured to stop investigating the shooting of Renee Good, or do you think there should be an investigation at least to clear him or to not clear him, but one way or the other? Do you think there should be an investigation?
I mean, there's a federal investigation, right?
Well, that was they were the federal investigators.
Oh, I thought you said state. I'm sorry.
No, these are federal prosecutors in Minnesota.
I had not read that. Let me just really quickly look, because this sounds odd, but
Why does it sound odd to you, Grid?
why does it sound odd?
Yeah, why does it sound odd that the current administration, who lied demonstrably about what happened in the shooting, is pressuring the people that would otherwise investigate whether or not it was unjustified?
Why does it sound odd? Well, because if they're resigning because of something, and the reason that they're giving is pressure, but there's no proof of pressure, then I don't know, right?
Okay, let's say there's proof of pressure.
If they're fired, if they were literally fired, right, and they, Trump came in and said, "Hey, stop doing what you're doing, and you're all fired," that's another thing.
Another
You're
thing
asking
what?
me something-
Would you
Hold
have
on,
an
you're
wait?
asking-
Would you have an issue with that?
You're asking
Hold on,
me
hold on,
something
hold
I
on,
don't have
hold
any information on.
What?
So give me
We'll
a
do it.
second.
Okay, well, here's a
Wait, wait, wait,
hypothetical.
wait.
Would you have an issue with Trump doing this?
Wait. Hold on. Before you finish your answer, you said that we don't have proof of that. It is 7 prosecutors that quit.
Sure.
How many?
Well, they could
would
all be
you
lying,
say,
Tom.
would be enough before you would think that it's more likely or less likely? Grid.
I'm reading. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get caught up. I don't.
Well,
try not
here,
to-
just
Well,
engage in
how
the
about this?
hypothetical.
I
Wait,
can
Tom,
play a
please,
quick
let me
video,
ask. Tom,
right?
please. Tom, we don't have to.
What?
He doesn't have to read because it'll take him a while. All right. Look, Grid, you said this isn't Trump coming in and firing them, right? But what if it was? Would you be okay with that?
No, I wouldn't be okay with him just coming in and firing the federal prosecutors if they're without cause. If there's cause, sure. That's
Okay,
fine,
what
but
would the cause have to be?
I have no fucking clue.
Okay, well here the implication is that they're investigating the ICE officer and the pressure is coming in and saying, no, investigate the wife. If that was the cause that he gave and fired them, would you be okay with that?
If he fired them for that,
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be okay with it.
Okay, so you're not okay with them firing them. Now, are you okay with them putting pressure on them? If hypothetically what they're saying is true.
Yeah, I'm okay because if he's the chief law enforcement officer in the country, and if he says, "Hey, stop looking at that and look at that," and you disobey that, and you decide, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore," and you quit, then I don't actually have a problem with that.
Do you have a problem with the administration basically just making up their mind about what happened before there's any investigation and also lying about the person who got killed? Kirsty Noem and Vance have both called her a domestic terrorist. Is that appropriate?
I don't know that she's a terrorist or not, so I don't.
Do you
know
think
if
they
that's
know?
appropriate or not.
God, it's so fucking spineless, man. Not MAGA, by the way. Not MAGA. I don't know if she's really. Do you
It's
think
okay.
Vance
Well,
knows?
no,
Do you
yeah,
think
Loner, it's
Kirsty
okay if he
knows
puts
that she's domestic
pressure
terrorist?
on them.
Hold on.
Is she being charged with domestic terrorism?
Do you know? Are you telling me that you know?
I know they have no evidence for it. Do they have any evidence? Have they said
Well,
they have
they
evidence?
have
Are they charging
evidence
her?
that she's part of a group that tracks ICE.
Is that a group that tracks ICE? What to
She
protest?
was there.
Is that
She was
domestic
there to
terrorism?
protest and apparently a very odd way.
Hey, do you
How
think
did
those
this
like
happen?
frogs
Why
in front of?
would-
Wait,
why-
do you think
you're
the frog?
saying
Wait,
you
wait, no,
don't
grid,
want that
grid,
person-
grid,
hold on,
grid.
hold on, hold on,
No, grid,
stop.
you hold on. You
You're
hold on.
saying
Do
that
you
you
think
don't
grid,
want
grid,
that
please,
person
grid,
investigated.
grid. Do you think the frogs outside the ICE agency in Portland? Do you think those are domestic terrorists?
I'm sorry, what?
The frogs, the people in frog costumes in Portland. Do you think those are domestic terrorists?
I have no fucking clue.
Well, hold on. They're part of a group that may or may not track ICE and protest.
Did they do what this lady
They
did?
involved in a shooting? Yeah.
Yeah, are they
What do you mean
involved in a shooting? Are they
She
Wait,
got shot
are they
at.
You mean
literally
got shot? Did they get
participating
shot in the head?
operations?
No, they didn't
She
get
got
shot in
by
the
a cop. She
head.
was unarmed, but she was
Hold on. I
involved in a
actually really
shooting.
want the
That's
fucking
terrorism.
answer to my actual question. You
Yes, the
two
answer.
spineless
The
wimps.
grid. The answer is.
Do you
The
think-
answer is.
Do you think that they should not investigate this woman and her wife?
I think it's fine to investigate them, but it's clear they're getting
Okay.
pressure to not investigate the ICE officer who did the killing. So I think this is a
You see
very
what the Martin
much.
Bailey is there as well. You're saying we should investigate her. We went from calling her a domestic terrorist to, do you know she's not? What is there a 0.0001 chance that she was part of fucking like Hamas America? I don't know, maybe, but realistically. How can you? So how many?
Hold on. If
not
I
MAGA.
gave
Just
you
look,
this,
hang on, I'm not
this
finished, I'm not
information,
finished,
you
I'm not
guys
finished.
would
I'm not
suck
finished.
in
Hold on,
primary.
wait,
This is
wait,
all
I'm not
hearsay
finished.
bullshit.
Hold on,
There's no
hold on.
corroborating
What-
evidence at
I'm going
all.
to recap everything that the administration
on,
has said
what
so
about
far.
you,
Like,
Michelle?
not MAGA, but you agree with Trump that it's a miracle that he's still alive. You agree that she intentionally, recklessly, and violently ran him over, and that you also believe that it's not inappropriate for Vance and Kirsty Noem to call them domestic terrorists. Not MAGA, by the way. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, whatever. Do you or do you not think that it's okay for them to investigate these people?
No one said anything about
Okay,
investigating them. Of
why
course
do
can
you have a
investigate
problem with
someone.
Trump putting pressure on the prosecutors to investigate those people?
Okay,
Over
grid.
the
You
cop.
do
Although we
realize
already
it's
know what
not.
the cop did. Like
is
the
already
cop,
smearing
and
her as a special terrorist.
there's internal things that are investigating a cop. Why are you so concerned about this? What is the and by the way,
He's
by the
telling
way-
them-
By the way,
My memory
I
is not
don't
like
really
yours.
give a shit about these prosecutors. They're just lawyers, and lawyers do shit all weird all the time. So I really don't care about these prosecutors. And
Jesus.
just the statements that they've
The
made in this
cartwheels.
article that I'm reading, I don't know how accurate it is, but it's just like we said this, and once federal prosecutors said it won't be easy remaining assistant U.S. attorneys to press ahead with the fraud cases and all that. These are Minnesota people that are not Trump people. You're acting like these are Trump loyalists who suddenly
What?
stabbed him in the back because he doesn't want
No one said this.
to do that.
No, not a single person claimed that, grid.
But that's what that was the framing.
No, the framing was
that
people
they
that are in
don't like
charge
this pressure?
of getting to the truth of the matter are being told by the administration, who has
We don't
already
know
shown
that's what again.
that is
these
their
are what
job,
they-
grid.
that-
Please,
this is what
please,
they're
you're being so
claiming.
obtuse. It like hurts my head
This
like
is
a
what
little
they're
bit. That I
claiming,
can't
but
believe
I
you're
have
this
no
fucking
evidence
slow.
to claim.
I want to ask a question. So,
Do you understand what
Grid,
hearsay is? Do you guys
Grid,
know what
if
hearsay
I,
is?
Grid,
No,
if
I've
I
never heard of it. What's that?
hypothetically, if I
Well, apparently you
hypothetically-
haven't, because this is what this.
Hold on, let-
if I
Warner Box
if I
let him
hypothetically like
answer the
shat in
question.
your mom's face and said, and then you called me out for it, and I said, "Oh, what?" So I just have to hold it in. I just can't shit ever. You think I'm making a dishonest argument when I say that, right? Yes or no?
I mean, it's an odd argument, sure.
It would be a dishonest argument. I'm not
would think
engaging with
so.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, wait.
So
Wonder
when I
Box, you
say
did say
there's a
earlier
problem
that
with
the
no
I'm
advance,
contending
when I
directly with
say-
what you're
when I
saying. You
say-
guys just
when
don't
I
like
say-
it.
When I
Just
say
because
there's
you
a
don't
problem
like it
with
doesn't
no
make it
advance,
the
when I'm
reality.
saying there's a problem with no advance, not saying we should investigate, but saying she is a domestic terrorist, and you say, "Oh, what?
And
You
he
don't
can
think we should
say that.
investigate her?"
And he can be
And you
wrong
say,
about it.
"Oh,
What's
you
your
don't think we should
problem with that?
investigate her?" Oh, really? You think it's appropriate for the government to be giving opinions like that on someone who's just died?
Governments give opinions every day. You just don't like his opinions.
Well, his opinion was a
Really?
lie,
saying
to
In
be
terms of
clear.
an investigation, it's
Like,
their
they
administration
should
that's going to
wait
do an
after
investigation.
an
Also, we're going to tell you
investigation
already
is
that they're a domestic terrorist. Can't imagine why that would be inappropriate legally.
So Wonderbox,
Well, hold on, but that doesn't answer my fucking question. You guys
It's
keep
also a
saying-
lie, to be clear. It's
hold
also a
on,
lie.
Hold on.
Is it a lie?
Okay, so Grid did say earlier.
We don't know that that's
like-
that she's not.
No,
there.
it's a lie.
Hold on.
It's a lie.
We
Hold
do
on.
not know that. You
Hold on.
don't know.
If I
that.
call if I call 100 people in the streets pedophiles, I'm not correct just because one of them happened to be. You have to have evidence for a claim. Otherwise, it's a lie.
All right,
If I go
Tom,
to a football
what do you got?
stadium and I call everyone a pedophile, and it turns out I find out later on that one of them actually was I correct? No.
I'm sorry, Tom. What were you saying?
I'm just watching your brain try to fucking process that.
Well, so
Jesus Christ.
he is asking like if they should wait until they have if it's responsible for them to make statements about this and give conclusions about the outcome before there's a full investigation. Do you think that that's like
No,
good?
I-
or responsible for them to-
And that's one of my big problems with basically all of the administrations lately is that they just say things before they have any knowledge, testimony, anything like that. It's not just Trump. It's basically fucking everybody. Everybody's so in a big hurry to be on the news, to get the sound clip, to get the sound bite out there. It's fucking appalling. So I have no problem calling out JD Vance for shooting his mouth off and saying something before he has the facts for it. But that has nothing to fucking do with the claim that these prosecutors are making, which is not backed up by anything but a press release and a news
Grid,
article.
how can you say it has nothing to do with it when you are admitting now that you have a
understand
problem?
that that's
No,
it's
you
just
have. Do
hearsay,
you
there's
understand?
no
Grid,
evidence,
grid,
there's
grid,
nothing.
grid.
You guys are
Tom,
saying
please make him
shit,
shut
it
up.
does make a difference.
Okay,
I thought
Grid.
Grid,
So,
you said a second
Grid.
ago that you
So-
didn't have a problem with him making a statement about this and giving his opinion when
Right,
those
so-
prosecutors would be doing the same thing, wouldn't they?
No,
Yeah, that's
Tom.
again, that's fine.
No, Grid, you said just now, you acknowledged JD Vance shot his mouth off, and we are saying lied, because that is what he did. He obfuscated the facts of this case before he knew what happened. He lied about it, and you're saying this has nothing to do with those same people who lied about this case pressuring federal prosecutors to not investigate the person that they're lying about? You don't think this is at all related?
I don't think that there's any. You know what? I would love to see the proof of the pressure. I want to see the notes from the White House to these prosecutors saying, "Don't investigate this."
Okay, and if you saw them and they existed, would you say?
Then I would call out Trump 24/7.
Wow.
But you can't produce them because they don't exist.
Oh, so now you
so
are
like the-
claiming for a fact it didn't happen. Just to be clear.
No, I'm just calling it before
you
you
just
do
said
it.
it didn't exist.
I'm calling it in the air. Calling it in the air because
How much
and
you
I'll
wanna bet?
wait. I'm very patient.
How much, Grid? How much you want? You want a $100 bet right now that there is credible evidence that these people
Yeah,
have
go
been
get it.
pressured. Go get
Go
it.
get
What do
it.
you mean? Go get it.
Go find the evidence.
No,
I think
oh my
he's
God,
saying
it
right
do-
now.
I'm saying
I'm
if
gonna-
the evidence comes out, you owe me $100, and if it doesn't come out, let's say in
No.
3
Right
months,
now,
I'll give you $100.
you are asked me about you asked me about the claim.
You made a prediction. I'm asking
I'm
you
not
to hold
making a
yourself.
prediction. I'm
You-
saying that there's
He literally
no
said I'm
evidence of this
shot
at this
calling
moment.
it, dude. Like, what do you want? Fuck. Whatever, dude. I can't. Like, you're
Well,
jumping
so
around
Phil,
from
so
positions to
earlier-
positions. I don't know what to do.
Go get it.
Earlier, we
Go get
you
what?
asked Grid whether or not he was okay with them pressuring the prosecutors,
And
he
he
did
said
say that
yes.
there was already an investigation. If there, according to Christine Nome, the FBI is already investigating the shooting of from the officer and that entire scenario from
Mhm.
that perspective. So if these DHS these DHS prosecutors are supposed to be investigating something else, and they have the FBI handling that aspect, but these these federal prosecutors continue to investigate anyways. Do you have a problem with them pressuring them to move on to the other
Yeah, I mean,
thing
if they're
that?
derelict in their job, then yeah, they should be.
Well, hold on.
Do-
I
so to be
want Soy
clear-
Bill to answer
Yes, I have a problem with the pressure coming down from the people who lied about it, saying don't investigate this further, who said this man is, everything is exculpatory before having the facts of the case. Yes, I don't trust them to put pressure on the people who may discover that that is not the case. Not at all.
So you're saying if they say that the FBI is investigating?
Yeah,
this
if Kristi
already,
Noem says a thing after she just lied about this case and says, actually, they're handling it. The people that are, fucking run by Kash Patel, the most incompetent moron that's ever run the FBI. Yeah, I don't trust them. I'm not okay with it.
And Joe, do you trust the FBI to investigate this?
Do I trust them to? Or like, what do you mean? What are you asking? Like,
Do you
I
trust-
How
wasn't
could it be
sworn-
any more clear?
No,
Trump,
I'm saying
hold on,
like, yeah.
hold on, I mean,
Christ. Thank you, Climber Diner, $10. First time catching a stream. Discovered you from your Matt Walsh. Love your stuff. No idea where you get the patience. I'm running out of patience. IMS the Fox, like you're the 5. I am never watching another Tom debate. He's been very partisan. I don't think he's partisan. I think he's being way too kind to these people. He's definitely left wing. But thank you for commending me. Oh, I think I missed one more. Oh, no, just someone subscribed. Thank you. All right, we're going back.
we come to a pretty concrete conclusion on this. Do you trust them to actually do a fair investigation of this scenario?
Yeah, I don't know if I do. It feels like government overreach a little bit. I don't like it being politicized. I think that the law should just be exhausted and everything should be investigated without any kind of political bias.
Do you think that the administration is engaging in political bias by weighing in on a case that they don't know the facts about and lying about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, as long as you're not cool with that, because I think that's awful. So
I'm not cool with it.
And Grid, how did you feel about the plaque saying one of ours, all of yours?
Wait, what? Who said that?
The Kristi Noem did a press conference recently with a plaque put on the front of her podium that said one of ours, all of yours.
I didn't see that, so I don't understand the context of that.
She's saying the ICE officer is one of ours, right?
Mhm.
Is that what that
That's
means?
what the implication would be. She was
I only
there
just heard about
talking-
it now, but yeah, it's right. That's obvious. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a bunch of statements from lefties on like TikTok and crap like that trying to state that this is a Nazi slogan from SS officers and crap like that. That's totally untrue. It is just from everything that I've read, that is fully debunked and just complete bullshit. But it does seem to be
Wow.
an implication that they are going to war with the left or the people who are protesting them, that they are kind of grouping them all together and saying, you took one of
Yeah.
ours, so we're going to take all of yours.
Yeah, I have no idea. I will say that I think that the governors that are trying to put state agencies against federal agencies are doing the wrong
look,
thing.
guys, I know my
Certainly
Nazi
believe
slogans. I
in,
don't think that's
states'
one,
rights
but I could be wrong.
over
Owlishness.
federal
Don't trust
overreach.
Joe. He thinks evolution is
But
fake
when
and
it's a
STDs come
clear,
from poop. Really?
federal jurisdiction,
Okay.
the locals need to
Is he like a creationist?
either stand aside or get pushed aside. I don't know that the FBI is really. I mean, I guess the FBI is the only real agency that they have that can investigate this, other than maybe the
Federal prosecutors?
U.S. Marshals or
Or the federal
which
prosecutors?
they're not really investigators that much anymore. But yeah, I mean, certainly you don't want.
Thank you, Orange Sweater. Yeah, Joe has not been very vocal because he
DHS
gets shut up every
or,
time he says something stupid. But Grid is too stupid to know how stupid he is.
Border Patrol or whatever to investigate their literal sister agency, where they share a lot of staffing. It's an interesting thing. I can certainly see the territorial nonsense that between agencies, between federal and state prosecutors, leaning on their federal prosecutors to push harder in specific directions. But I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, the best, I have a real problem with all of the knee-jerk responses from our politicians lately, and it's they really have to get their facts straight before they start talking, and it goes
Just
for all of
to
them.
be clear, that I'm looking at it right now. The lectern said one of ours, all of yours, as if to say like you take one of our guys, we'll take all of yours, as if like like a billion eyes for an eye. Is that the idea? Like,
Collective punishment is like the
yeah,
implication.
it's so fucking mad that you've got someone basically saying that, like, and I like
But
all
hold
of
on,
your
guys.
eyes for one of ours, and then the
Hold
response
on.
that we get from Grid is just like, well, I believe it's states' rights, and there are some really interesting questions about the division of powers and the
Yeah,
separation
I
of
said I
the
don't
Constitution
know
of the
anything about
three
this sign.
branches, and I
I
don't know.
haven't seen
Politicians
it.
are just a
I
little.
don't care.
Look, I don't
You
think it's
Why?
unreasonable.
You don't get to
I
do
don't think
that.
it's
I've never heard about that. Someone saying something like that. It's like
the
I
Mike
don't
that's a
think
Johnson
it's
fucking
defense.
unreasonable
mental thing to
see
say.
that both sides are gonna, if you flip a few things.
Can you
in
imagine
this
if like
scenario-
Well, hold
Merrick
on, hold on,
Garland?
hold on,
No,
William
I
Marcus.
got
Let
it.
Joe,
Yeah, I got-
let Joe
yeah,
respond. Let Joe respond.
I'm just saying, like, we just know that politics are gonna politic. Like, they're gonna. What's that old
That is
saying?
not
Like,
politics, politicking,
never-
you fucking
never
idiot,
let
man. What are
it.
you talking about?
Dude, shut up, you cum guzzling cunt. I'm fucking talking.
Well,
all right?
careful with the naughty
Like,
words. You're gonna get
anything-
banned off Kick too, dude.
Yeah, right, dude.
Didn't
Anyway,
know he knew about me and his mom's cum.
this guy, dude, you look like you actually fucking polished dome, bro. I wouldn't be talking. But
Only a
anyway,
month.
like,
Got
if
him,
you
bro.
if you switch some
Wait, what's
things
wrong with the
around-
polished dome?
if you flip a few things around, then they're going to politicize the other way too. Let's say if we flipped the script, right? Let's say if we had Democrats in office and there was some kind of like BLM protest and some white supremacists showed up and they were told by the cops like, hey, this is a protected parade. Can you turn around? Could you not menace it around here? And they disagreed with the cops, tried to film them, mouthed off to them, and then right when they're backing up, I guess, and the friend gets in and says, let's go, boys, white power, when they're saying get the fuck out of the car, and there's a black
I
lady
think he
cop
wanted
in
to
front of
say
the white
that.
supremacist, and she pops a shot off or whatever. Yeah, I think if you flip those scenarios around, the Democrats are going to be like, you see, this is what happens, like, this kind of radicalization, blah, blah, blah. These were white supremacist terrorists, this and that. Politics, that's what they're going to do.
To be clear,
They're
even
gonna-
in
your
your
whole argument is,
hypothetical,
what if the Democrats were as unhinged as MAGA? I'm sorry, this didn't happen though. Like, imagine if after January 6th you see fucking Merrick Garland going up and giving a fucking conference, and then there's a fucking lectern or a big sign behind him saying, "Fuck around, find out, eye for an eye, Babbitt." Like, sorry, that would be fucking mental, and we would
say,
never.
Fuck around and
we-
find out
no,
about
Merrick
Babbitt.
Garland doesn't say that. Some
You are.
Democrats do, but you will never
Really?
see an elected politician saying
Well,
anything
Mer-
remotely close to this because we're not fucking
Merrick Garland
unhinged.
said, "Fuck around and find out."
I'm not protecting. To be clear,
The day that
I'm
it
not
happened.
defending. I'm not defending Trump's administration. That's what all I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah,
is that
we're all,
both
but you
sides
just
do
said,
it.
Wait.
imagine if the Democrats did
Wait,
it.
wait,
You
wait,
just-
wait,
you
wait,
just
wait, wait.
imagine
Both
if
sides
it.
do
Owlishness high. His profile picture on Discord is him imitating the Burger King guy on the plane, like the guy who said the N-word. Oh my god, it is. Okay, he definitely got banned for saying the N-word.
Out of
A
office.
Republican has been killed,
Yeah.
and the Democrats are saying fuck around.
And
find
Merrick
out?
Garland has a big fucking sign in his press conference saying "fuck around, find out," or one of ours, all of yours, or eye for an
This
eye.
guy,
tooth
this
for
guy
a tooth, get
absolutely is
fucked.
imitating
Where are we
the
seeing
N-word
that?
Burger King crown guy.
When has that ever happened? That hasn't happened.
Well,
from a
yeah, something
politician.
just like this hasn't happened, right? Because we're not a country currently swarming with
Anything-
a bunch of white supremacists. We're swarming with a bunch of crazy fucking leftists that are out there causing the most
No,
violence
Joe, he
in
said
some
in
parts.
response to January 6th, which is the thing that happened actually.
Yeah. Was there any
No,
Merrick
that-
Garland fuck around, find out for Ashley Babbitt? One of ours. That's so
No.
fucking crazy, man. That's like one of the maddest
No,
things
for
I've ever
this
seen.
one guy, no, I haven't seen that. Yeah, but there was plenty of, Democrats and left-leaning people who are like, yeah.
single-
fuck
can you
around
name
and
a
find
single
out,
politician?
bitch.
Any politicians? Yeah.
Not off the top of my no.
It's because
No,
it
you
doesn't
can't,
exist, to
and
be
we know
clear.
that the
No,
MAGA
hold on.
machine would be
I'm not
all over
defending
it.
the politicians.
Hold
I'm
on,
not
Joe.
But you're
defending
trying to
the
say
Hold
that.
on.
But you're trying to say the Democrats do the same, and you have any examples? You see what we mean by like not MAGA, but you're kind of defending them, like tooth and nail.
I'm saying
Hold
I
on,
could
Joe,
see a
Joe,
hypothetical where you flip a few
Hold on.
things and it's a
Hold on.
different outcome.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Joe. So you understand? Like, yes,
Okay.
you are saying you're not defending it, and they are pointing out like a difference in leadership, right? So when we're talking about like politicians who are running the country, people who we would all like hold accountable, some random person on TikTok, yeah, we can all
Guys,
say it's bad, but like these aren't people who like
I quote tweeted Hassan to yell at him, and he responded. Senpai noticed, so I gotta yell at him before the stream's over.
different because these are actual like leaders within our country that are held to a very different standard than some 15-year-old on TikTok. And so like when we're talking about what it
Sure.
is that they're saying, they're asking you like, do you see an actual equivocation
Yeah, I know.
between what it is
I'm-
that Democrats say and what it is that the
Because I'm
Trump
here.
He's
administration
imagining
says?
The
one
ones
though.
that
That's what I hear.
They're the ones actually equivocating though, because I'm talking about a hypothetical, and they're asking me, well, when did that really happen, right? Like, no, don't
Right, but the
listen
point
to
is
me.
you have to
It's
invent a scenario where
hypothetical.
this keeps happening from the right? Like there's a clear difference in standards from the politicians where one of them is willing to say insane shit and the Democrats aren't.
I'm talking about just this incident. If
Mhm.
you flipped a few things, it's very possible, hypothetically, that they could weaponize it politically the other
Mhm.
way. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying they've done
Alright.
it. I'm not saying this or that. It's a
Application that hasn't
hypothetical.
happened. If you keep saying it's possible hypothetically,
All right,
yeah.
It's
and
a
then the
hypothetical,
last thing,
dipshit.
last
Oh, it happened in the
again, if you guys
hypothetical.
wanna,
Okay, gotcha.
as we're gonna wrap up here shortly. If you guys have any questions, again, you can send those questions through super chats or through the link in my chat. But after the shooting of Renee Good, we saw a lot of videos coming out of ICE officers going up to cars and going up to people who were protesting, saying things like, "Haven't you learned your lesson? You need to stop following us. You need to stop filming us," grabbing their phones and saying like,
This is
you
why
don't
that
want what
lesbian
happened
bitch
to
got
her
shot.
to
I think
happen
I
to
saw one.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stuff like that. Obviously the implication is that they're trying to stop people from protesting. But Soypill, do you think if there are people who continue to impede them from like making arrests, if they're even honking horns to where it's hard for people to understand their orders or hear what it is they're saying, even these scenarios could create more high tense scenarios where things like this are more likely to happen. Do you think that these officers are like unjustified for trying to dissuade these people from doing things like this?
To be clear, I think the language you used there was incredibly soft. Are the officers unjustified to dissuade people from protesting? No, if they're like, hey, you need to get out of here, or like, hey, move your car, lady, or can you stop honking? I'm trying to do my, bullshit, rounding up of people. Maybe. But that's not what's happening, because you just described the videos of them going up and being like, oh, we fucking killed her and we'll do it to you too. Haven't you learned your lesson? Absolutely not. This is fucking insane, unhinged behavior from people who have no business holding a weapon, who have no business having any authority over anyone. And I'm fully on the abolish ICE train now. I think there's no reforming this. They need to go the fuck away. We'll have a different organization do immigration enforcement, because these people are fucking crazy.
Boy, so woke based.
What do you think, Ruth?
Is there actually a video of somebody going up there and saying that?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of them now.
No, what Soy Pill said.
Happened.
I paraphrased,
think
but there
one
was
of them
definitely
was being more than
let
one.
me find that one.
Okay, what was actually said?
Well, there's several, so
There's a
I've
couple of them
combining
where they say
several.
things like, there's a couple of them where they say, didn't you guys learn your lesson after the last one? There's one where they say, you don't want what happened to her to happen to you too. There's a number of them now where they kind of say something alluding to, if you keep doing what you're doing now, you will end up like Renee Good.
Is that not the case though?
That's what I'm asking you.
I mean, it would seem to be the case that if you attack armed men, you might potentially get shot in the face.
Or if you don't attack them.
Yeah, or if you drive away from them. That's crazy. Hey, I just linked it. This is hearsay. To be fair, this is someone describing them saying it to them. That calling her a lesbian bitch was not on video, according to this person. This is her repeating. So she could be embellishing. I'll admit that.
But yeah, like to people who obviously think that the shooting is unjustified and there isn't even a full investigation out again, it might seem a bit insensitive, or even as though you're threatening to murder people if they consider this murder. If you're saying what happened to
Grant,
this person,
is
could
that
happen
even
to you,
true? But also, if
seems
it
as
is
though,
true, that's a good
to a
thing.
lot of these people, they feel as though they're being threatened with murder.
I mean, I think it honestly, to me, it seems fairly simple, right? I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Right.
Just in case that wasn't clear, Tom, what he's saying is I'd rather have the jury exonerate me and or not than get carried out in a coffin by 6 people.
Yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right? I mean, look, you have officers getting treated very poorly, which I mean they signed up for. I'm not excusing their behavior at all, but people are people. Some people have bad days.
You literally just excused the behavior, by the way, immediately after saying that. That's what excusing their behavior means.
Isn't it? Was I saying this? Were they saying this to people who were rioting or to protesters?
They're saying this to protesters, and I think 2 of the videos that I'm quoting were of people in cars who were following them. One was
So
of a
these
protest
people.
where
So these
they-
people
the
are getting
woman
these
was holding
warnings.
the phone.
They're not. Wait. So these people who are getting these warnings they're not attacking cops.
No, they're filming
All
them,
of them,
which is
anyway.
even more dangerous. In fact, based
So-
on that criteria, I think this guy was threatening this woman's life. He had a camera pointed directly at her face, right?
Yeah, and some phones and communication devices can explode,
That's true.
Yeah.
hypothetically.
All right. I'll let you guys all give a closing statement before we head out, and then also make sure to shout out your channels and let everybody know where they can find you. We will start off with Lonerbox.
It's kind of easy to lose sight over what ICE is even trying to do. I mean, Trump's had a year. It doesn't seem like this whole idea that they've been talking about getting rid of all of the illegals is ever really coming close to fruition. I don't really know what their goal is. Apparently, there are like 14 million odd illegal immigrants in the United States, as the estimates, and that's not even to mention 30 million of whom came under Biden maths. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like whatever's going on with that institution, it just needs to go, and they need to start again until we can find out what the hell is going on. Fucked.
All right. Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I just, in general, I don't really trust the cops offhand to make best judgments. I don't really trust.
How
law
can you say
enforcement
this after
very much.
bootlicking for just 2 hours?
If I'm going to give advice to somebody who's like my friend or family, my advice with dealing with cops is going to be just do what they say. Don't resist, right? And I think that is just the major failure here is that you are acting aggressive around people with guns who deal with some of the worst of humanity on a daily basis. And a lot of people, I don't think they take that into account when they decide to mouth off or resist a cop's orders. I just think in general, that is always a bad idea. What's going to
Just
happen legally down the
deep-throating
road is
boot.
going to be figured out by better minds than myself. I just think in general, it is incredibly stupid to mouth off or like be aggressive towards.
They're going
the
to
guy
get
with the
Ross on
gun.
duty to retreat?
It's
I don't
not
get
even
that, Funyard.
justified,
Thank you for the
really.
2.
If it's a robber holding you up at gunpoint, you should still listen and just hand over your fucking wallet. So that's my general advice.
I'm
This
sorry, a
seems
right
like
winger
it's
just said if a
another
robber's holding a gunpoint,
sad
you should hand
game
over your
of-
wallet,
of,
which is
you know,
pretty
you know,
true. But
play
this is
stupid
the like
games, win
Second
stupid
Amendment
prizes.
pow pow crowd. Jesus.
All right. And where can people find you again?
I'm at Kung Fu Joe _ on Twitch, but I'm on a 7-day ban at the moment. I'll be back soon.
Wait, on Twitch is
find
your
me on
profile
Twitter.
picture the same as Discord? It's the one where you're in the Burger King crown where the guy says the
Yeah.
N-word? Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yep.
All right. Soy
Wow.
Bill.
Yeah, this is so ridiculous. I mean, it's very clear to me that the administration is lying about this, that they're pressuring people to not investigate this mishandling by ICE. And if this was an isolated incident, by the way, I don't think these people came into here and they're like, yeah, I can't wait to shoot that woman. I think this is a perfect storm of untrained people in high stress scenarios, and we put all of the onus on the people that are getting shot at, getting strangled to death, getting ripped out of their cars, being locked up unjustly, and none of the onus on the people that are supposed to be like the have the responsibility to carry weapons and potentially legally kill people. It's insane to me. ICE has shown time and time again that they're incompetent, that they're going and doing things that they shouldn't be. They're locking up people. They're evading due process. Like, it's just this whole big mess of an institution. And in the same way that it's poison to say abolish the police, because I don't think we should abolish the police. We need to enforce the law. I thought in saying abolish ICE was some like, hey, this is completely untenable. But there's a reason now that there's like more than 50% support for this. It's because this is fucking insane, and these people need to disappear. And there should be Nuremberg trials for these fucking crazy retards, and also physical fitness tests, because God, are they so fat. I'm the Soy Pill. You can find me at the Soy Pill. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome, appreciate it. And Grid.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tom. First of all, normally I would say that I'm the only person who could make the little speech I'm about to make, but Tom has told me some things that he might have been in the same situation, but I'm pretty sure I'm, other than potentially Tom, I'm the only person on the panel that has actually had an officer pull their gun on them and look down the barrel of that son of a bitch. And, I did exactly what the cop said, and I didn't get shot. I was a young man at the time, full of vim and vigor. But I didn't get shot because I did what I was told to do, and I kept things very calm. Seems like one of the things we lack in this country is any damn common sense, and I think we've proven it here tonight listening to Soy Pill and the Loner Box. Common sense is no longer common, and they are not common at all. I do appreciate engaging with them. I always like engaging with Soy Pill. Soy Pill's got a lot of oomph, and I like that. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks. It was really good. I honestly didn't. I prepared in the opposite direction tonight, Tom. So I was like,
thank you, Boheat, for the $5. I'm not going to bring that up, but this is kind of encompassed in my point that, hey, ICE is consistently doing horrible illegal stuff and are untrained. Funny word, I can't send the article, but look up the Minnesota self-defense laws, duty to retreat. John is not immune to state laws. It's been upheld in court. I'm very sure of this. I don't have to look it up. I believe you. Like, this makes perfect sense.
I have cops that are, they're acquaintances. But I know that given the motivation, they will put me in fucking handcuffs or worse. So I don't give them that. It seems like we've lost a little bit of direction in this country, and we need to get it back. You can point at Trump. It's a good target. You can't miss him. But
well,
you guys should try harder. Be better. Elevate a little bit. I can be found at An Unreasonable Man on YouTube and Twitch, sometimes Rumble. And I just launched a new channel, Gun Prattle, where I talk about competitive shooting and all things firearm related several times a week. Again, Tom, it's great being on the show, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate all you guys coming. Just to clarify, I have not had guns from cops pointed at me. I've had guns from regular people pointed at me, but I was attacked by officers. I did comply. I did everything they told me to. They shattered my kneecap and tried to kill me. So we had
opposite experiences.
I will always advise people to do what it is that the cop says. I understand that my scenario is a freak scenario. That is not the majority of the time. Most of the time, you are best off complying and doing what it is that the officers tell you.
Okay, that's
to.
fair. He's not wrong. You should comply when you think you can, if you can.
That is what I would recommend.
But it does not guarantee safety.
On my side, I had a lot of production problems. I apologize for that. This is the first one that we're doing. The idea is to have a higher production quality, and so that's the part that we're trying to work on, and we're going to have to make some adjustments going forward. But we'll definitely get there, and I appreciate everybody showing up. Appreciate you guys coming and doing this, and we'll do more panels hopefully in the future. So hope to invite you guys back. Thanks for showing up.
Yep, it's a good time.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Yep.